Well, hello once again, everyone. It's the Mythos podcast once again with the Mythos boys. There are no girls yet. We're trying, I swear. I am Jingles Roscoe, and I have with me my little brother,
Smiter Roscoe.
my bestest friend, Pie Man.
The ritual is complete. Now we feast.
Yay!
And my slightly less bestest, but still pretty good bestest friend, Josh.
Hey.
It's good to see everyone. I love you guys, man. I love getting together and just talking about whatever whenever we can.
Don't get all mushy.
Don't
I have to.
Don't make it
It's
weird.
so close to Valentine's Day.
Don't
Is it? Almost
Don't make
time.
it weird.
Oh, is that what's influencing you?
I think so.
Your behavior has been kind of affectionate.
You're
lately.
being-
My
Effect-
Kokoro is currently doki dokiing.
You're being affected by the chemicals.
That's it. The chemicals in my brain. Because everybody knows love is just chemicals.
No, that's all
right.
it is.
That's all it is.
It's
Nothing
just-
is real.
That theory, that statement is just as true as the Daigo curse.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The Daigo curse. Maybe people are just bad and they just don't know it.
Maybe. No, that can't be it.
That can't be
there's
it.
a curse. There's a curse out there. You have to have something to blame.
Am I out of the loop? No, it's everyone else that is wrong.
I didn't know Daigo was a witch.
Yeah, he is a witch. They made a whole manga about it.
I believe that the term you're looking for is bruja.
Yes, a bruja.
Exclusively that term.
Bruja? You mean
Bruja.
the clan from Vampire the Masquerade?
No.
The clan of Brujas.
Yeah, the Bruja.
Nice. Solid reference.
Solid. I want to play Vampire.
I ran a Vampire the Masquerade game once.
Was it
We should
Vampire the
get-
Masquerade or Vampire the Requiem?
It was Vampire the Masquerade, but we also had available to us Werewolf the
Forsaken.
The Forsaken, thank you.
How about Mage?
No, we wanted to play Mage, but we never got
I can't
around
remember
to
what the
it.
subtitle to Mage is.
So
Oh.
check it out. We played a game of Vampire the Masquerade, and then we repurposed the system so that we could do a Resident Evil.
The Ascension?
Yes, Ascension.
The Ascension.
Yes. Ascension.
So we repurposed the rules for that so that we could do a Resident Evil one-shot with the DM that we had at the time. And it was fun. Like, you
sounds
wouldn't
pretty
think that you would try to think, like, okay, well, how would that translate out to different stuff? And for anybody that hasn't played on that system, what is that system called? I can't-
White Wolf system.
Thank you, the White Wolf system. So for anybody that hasn't played the White Wolf system, one of the things that you can do is that you have, I would say, like, what is it, like 5 nodes of abilities that you can fill in?
You know, I didn't have a ton of experience with the redone White Wolf system, so I honestly couldn't tell you. You know more than I do.
It was really interesting because it danced this line between freedom of expression through role playing and the more technical sides that you would typically enjoy for like Pathfinder or something.
Yeah, I remember the original Masquerade game version was way more for role playing, and like the actual like pen and paper parts of
Yes.
it weren't quite as big.
Yes. So anytime that you put a single point in an ability, what that would allow you to do is when you needed to use that ability, at a baseline you would throw a die, like a D6. But if you had more points than that, you would be able to throw additional die into there. At least that's how I remember it. I could be super wrong.
I know. At one point they used D8s. I think.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Was the standard die that they used for the
Yeah.
White Wolf system, but
Yeah.
again, it's been a long time.
It's not like the ancient ways of advanced D&D.
AD&D 2.
AD&D 2.
That's the best system ever.
Best system.
So
Hashtag.
Writer Patrick Rothfuss, I think you're probably familiar with some of his work. He was talking about how, because he's a huge Dungeons and Dragons fan, and I believe he's been taken on to write a couple of novels or maybe even a module or two. And he was talking about how he got to meet the current heads of Dungeons and Dragons right now, and he got to play with them, and because it's something that even they like to do. The game that they work on is the game that they love to play, so they're obviously constantly trying to be creative. And he got to play with them, and he was all like, "Cool. So are we doing like 5th edition, like the new one you guys are doing?" And they were like, oh no, we're gonna do Advanced D&D, second edition Advanced D&D, and the first thing Patrick says, oh, the ancient ways.
It is the ancient
Advance is when you want to play to win, not have fun.
Big number.
Big number.
Yes.
And he played it with them, and he was saying just how incredible it was to play with these bigwigs, these guys that are in charge of a massive company, to just sit down and play the game that they love all together. And apparently he had blast. Like, the current creative lead on Dungeons and Dragons right now, I can't remember his name. Thank you, Bretta. He runs his own campaign on stream, and I believe it's called the Stream of 1,000 Eyes.
Stream of Many Eyes.
Stream of Many Eyes, thank
Yeah.
you. And I've seen it. It's pretty baller.
That's fun. I like it.
He even did this special little one-off called Jox Machina, where he gets a bunch of jocks, but who are also like high-level Dungeons and Dragons players.
So he gets Vin Diesel.
No, well, Vince somehow got out of it. But guess who was there?
Who?
The Big Show.
Big Show.
They can afford Big Show, but they can't afford Vin Diesel.
They got the Big Show, they got Travis Willingham, and they got, oh gosh, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. They got a couple of other guys. One is an actor from True Blood.
Joe
Thank you, Joe Manganiello.
Manganiello.
They got Joe Manganiello and one of Joe's very close friends, who's also his personal trainer, who is a CrossFit champion. Yes. So it's just
Mike
a
Merrills,
party.
by the way.
What was that?
Mike Merrills.
Thank you, Mike Merrills. And so it's a party.
Yeah, that's the creative lead, not the
Yes,
CrossFit
thank
guy.
It's a party of 4, and they're all jocks, and they're all playing, air quotes here, jock classes.
Yeah.
One of them's a barbarian. The other one is one of them is a anti-paladin. No, Oathbreaker paladin.
Oathbreaker.
So he's still technically a good guy, but he's broken his oath from something. And
something.
another one is just a paladin, and another one is a fighter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the Paladin's kind of the odd duck out.
Why?
Well, I mean, because it is a physical class, but like if you're talking about jock classes, like I don't think of Paladins when I think of like a bunch of chads that are like roiding out.
They are very like yoked.
I was gonna say,
they're a very yoked class.
Paladins are very yoked, but they're not like jocks.
Let's
They're yoked, but they're good guys.
That's it. Hold on. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. I wanted to ask our local paladin player.
In my mind, I imagine paladins to be like when you go to like a weekend long Christian camp.
Yes.
And the guy that is there that like takes you to the obstacle course.
Yeah.
And like tells you about the obstacle course.
Yeah.
And he's like got his shirt is too tight and he's just like jacked.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm here for Jesus.
Yeah, that's a paladin.
That's a paladin.
I was going to say I've always seen paladins as being the Virgin Chad. Where, they love
The
God.
Virgin Chad.
They love God and they're saving it for marriage, but they're also huge, ripped, cool dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, paladins are gym chads, specifically the Simon Belmont variation.
Yes.
The guy that's nice enough to come along and help you with your workout.
Because I think of like jock and jock classes. I think of like mean like bully classes. So, like barbarian makes sense.
Yes.
You think of our
Oathbreaker paladin
experiences.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Talking from experience.
You
what
draw
chads
from middle
are.
school.
I was about to say, let's ask our local paladin player.
Well, that's the
Pieman.
difference between like an athlete and a jock.
There. I don't think there was much of a difference.
No, it's just more of a slang term.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, for
Depends
just
on the setting.
yeah,
Yeah. There you go.
Is it
It's-
high school?
yeah,
If it's high
Yeah.
school,
Is it
then
the
it's a
Olympics?
jock.
yeah,
If it's past high school, then it's an athlete.
yeah. But anyway, so Big Show and the Muscle Crew. They also played a max level one shot. So they're all level 20, taking on
fun.
some.
I thought they were
massive-
18.
Were they 18?
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
If
yeah.
I'm remembering
but
correctly,
regardless,
I'm
they were
pretty
taking
sure
on.
They were like It was very high level. Though.
Yes.
You're telling me that they weren't playing epic levels?
No. Not
No,
yet.
but they were damned close. And it was an awesome, like, it's maybe like a 3-hour stream. And I
It's
highly
very good.
recommend checking it out. It's very good.
Yeah, Mike
especially
Merrill's
when
is great.
Big Show like starts rolling dice and Travis Willingham is sitting right next to him.
Yes.
And you could see Travis's eyes go huge as like Big Show grips these tiny little dice.
It
in
probably
his...
looks like he's grabbing Skittles.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine he grabs a fistful of die, throws them down, and he just throws down like a handful of powder.
You're right.
He's like, oh, dang it.
So,
Salt.
like, right in front of... Oh, by the way, they're playing in front of an audience. Like, a pretty big audience.
Sure,
And when he scoops them up, Travis goes, holy cow. They look so small in his hands. Like, on mic in front of everybody, and everybody sort of chuckles. And Big Show goes, oh, yeah, like I've never heard that before. I was all like, that's so neat.
I imagine it's probably like the, you know, have you ever seen that photo of Andre the Giant holding a beer?
Yeah.
It's like a little mini beer.
Yes. No, that's just a regular-sized beer.
Or, oh, yeah, that's the video from, of Shaq on Sports Center, and he takes a swig out of a regular-sized water bottle.
Yeah.
It's like one of those little mini bottles.
I love the story of when Andre the Giant got drunk at like a hotel event like years ago, and he passed out in the middle of the lobby, and nobody was physically able to move him, so they just roped his body off until he woke up.
Yeah, that's right. I
Was that
remember
the
that.
time that he drank like 90 beers or something?
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah,
Enough to actually put down the giant.
yeah, and they couldn't move him. Nobody was strong enough to do so, even
Yeah.
as a group.
Yeah,
so they
true.
just roped his body off for people to walk around him.
Have you ever picked up dead weight before? It's really hard. Like,
It's
even
really hard.
if it's an amount that you can lift,
Yes.
it's impossible.
Now imagine lifting up an actual golem of a human.
Right.
Can you
That's why, like, lifting a brick or, like, a thing of bricks is easier than, like, lifting a bag of, like, flour.
Yeah.
Just because it's, like, all
It's
the weight is
shifting, it's
weird.
moving, yeah.
Yeah.
No matter how good you have that on your shoulders, it's still moving.
Yeah.
But I would love to see the group of employees around the manager as they're all just like pulling, and then they all sort of stop, and the manager goes, "Hang on, let's try something else." I don't know. Maybe should we like get more people? You know what? Rope him off. Just put a little rope around him. Nobody touch him. He'll eventually wake up.
He'll move himself eventually.
they just get the little velvet lobby
Yeah.
ropes.
Yeah, that was what they used.
Yeah.
Just caution. Wet floor sign.
I was,
Caution, sleeping giant.
I saw...
I feel like that's the real life equivalent of the Snorlax blocking off the road.
it's pretty
in
much it.
Pokemon.
It's so close.
I saw this thing with Jake the Snake Roberts
Yeah.
talking about how he traveled with the giant one time, and they got 2 cases of beer, and Jake was like, how he felt bad because they were traveling for a long time and they got the 2 cases of beer, and he drank like a few beers and had to like stop every so often to like use the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got to their destination. Andre didn't stop to use the restroom like the entire time. Actually, they were getting close to their destination. And Jake was all like, "Hey, can I get another beer?" And Andre was all like, "I drank them all. I finished. I drank them all."
Well, that's just
And he's like, "What?" And he's all like, "Yeah, he didn't need to use the restroom. Drank 2 cases of beer by himself." And I love it because he's all like, "What an athlete, man!" That guy was an athlete.
Well, he's probably got like a whale bladder.
Yeah, exactly.
He did. Holy cow.
I mean, he just put it away.
Yeah.
I've seen that story that apparently like during the filming of Princess Bride, like Andre let out like a solid 15-second fart.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
I did hear about. No, Jake the Snake was talking about. He was like laying down in the ring. They were performing a match, and Andre went and like slammed down on him, and then Jake said that he started feeling like. And Andre's just like laughing as he's sitting on him, and And the ref is all like, "Whoa, what's going on, Andre?" And he's all like, "I'm farting." And he said it was like 15 seconds. He could just feel his chest vibrating. It's just farting on him.
Okay. I'd always wondered if it was true or not, but maybe.
According to Jake the Snake.
Holy cow.
Which I didn't know Jake the Snake was still alive, by the way.
I know, right? He's one of those wrestlers you would think would be DLC.
Jake the Snake and Ted DiBiase I thought had been long gone, but both are still apparently alive and well.
I looked up Ted DiBiase not too long ago, and I was like, well, I wonder when he died. Oh, he's still alive.
Man, all that money has kept him alive.
Oh, wow.
I guess we didn't say that this podcast episode was going to be a little less focused than usual.
Yeah,
I
we're
think,
just gonna shoot
I
for
think
that.
they got it.
Oh, we got a few voicemails.
Do we?
From the last episode.
Really quick.
That we never...
Really quick, before you pull those up, you actually reminded me of Edge, who, by the way, thanks
Edge
to
is
his
back.
return, I've been going back and I've been checking out some more stuff about Edge because I knew about him and he was a wrestler that I at least liked. I think over the past couple of days, I've actually started to become a big fan of Edge, and
You're an edgelord now.
yeah, I'm an edgelord now, and I really like his gimmick because of how he pulls it off. And his gimmick is that he's kind of into whatever the adult version of mischief would be.
Yeah.
Like, he'll do things like he'll pour milk on you while you're on the toilet or something. That's what he'll do. And when and he's got like this great like sort of sadist, mischievous smile whenever he does it. But here's the thing: he's also kind of a really good actor. Mm-hmm. Like, he doesn't do movies or anything, but when he's doing promos and stuff, he's really good at nailing it.
He cuts a good promo.
Oh, also, Edge has some of the best stories I've ever heard.
Edge has got some really good stories.
Like, one that I heard was when he was talking about how he, it was another Vince McMahon story. Like, Edge's Vince McMahon stories are pretty good.
Stories of Vince are the best.
And Edge was saying that one of the promos he cut with John Cena, they had John Cena's actual dad be there and be part of the promo. And, beforehand he got to meet John Cena's dad. John Cena's dad is apparently just like one of the goodest good boys from the old days. Okay. And he's like, "Oh, I tell you what, my son's gonna put you through the ringer, Edge." And they're cutting the promo. And the promo was scheduled so that Edge would slap John Cena's dad and provoke John Cena to fight him.
Okay, get the feud going.
Yes, get the feud going. And when it came down to actually do it, he was given instruction to let loose on this old man.
So they're like, New Jack him.
Yeah, New Jack him.
And according to Edge, he's telling the story, he uncorked on this guy way harder than he meant to. And if you go back and you watch the footage, he almost lays this old man out.
Oh, no.
They play it back for Vince later. And later Edge is all like, I'm sitting there and I'm watching it with Vince and I'm like, my head's down and I just like, I look over and I see Vince going, oh God, Edge. What the hell?
And he turns up even for me.
Yeah, and he's all like, he turns over to Bruce and he's all like, Bruce, you produced this?
We're the WWE, not snuff films.
And so the only thing that they could change about it is that given the amount of time that they had to change it so that Edge had to redub that promo live.
Oh no.
So when the promo dropped, Edge had to be behind stage with a microphone and redub that improv in the moment.
Wow.
And when they finally actually got to the match, Edge said, "I don't know how it happened, but the day right before the match, like a good few hours right before the match, I went out. We all had a good time at a restaurant, and the first time in my life, I have food poisoning."
Yes.
And I go into the match, and the entire time I'm just like sweating. I'm holding everything, and I'm like, "Oh God, I'm gonna poop myself. I'm gonna poop myself in front of all these people." I'm all sweaty. I'm all clammy. They had a 20-minute match, and he had to hold it for 20 minutes as he's about to explode. They nail it. They do the set. They complete the match. He goes behind stage. He goes behind the curtain and apparently explodes.
Oh, no.
But I just remembering, like, it's just some of the coolest stories I've heard. And he seems like a really cool guy, like the kind of guy that you want to hang out with.
Right.
But voicemails. Sorry, I wanted to get that out of the way before.
Okay, before we do that, because he keeps talking about New Jack.
Yes. Tell us about New Jack. Pie Man.
What?
Tell us about
Tell us about New Jack.
New Jack is a menace to society. He's a wrestler. He's been around in a few different circuits, both pro and indie stuff, and he is notorious for taking things way too far.
You mean like Braun Strowman, or
no? That's scripted way too far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way too far is he kind of forgets that this is like a gimmick. This is an angle.
Yeah.
And he hurts people.
He
no
legitimately hurts people. Or
No.
did hurt people. I don't think he's been performing.
Well, okay, yeah, that's true. We shouldn't say he still does that.
Yeah.
He has
Yeah.
on many occasions.
Wow.
I think there was a story about like they were doing like a promotion or something, and they were supposed to have like some guy come in and job out to New Jack.
Yeah.
But the guy couldn't make it for some reason.
Yeah.
So they had to get like a backup to job out to New Jack, and they got like this kid to do it. And like the kid like got a little too rough with New Jack,
and so New Jack got way too rough with him.
He just destroyed this child.
No!
Was that the mass transit incident?
I don't remember exactly the full,
because that's exactly what happened in the mass transit incident. He bladed him and he cut him really deep.
Yeah.
And really hard.
No!
And the kid bled everywhere and passed out from blood loss.
Yeah.
Oh no!
This is why blading isn't a thing anymore.
Dang it, New Jack!
So how do you go about blading someone? You just bring a knife with you into the ring?
That's actually really interesting.
It's a good question. So blading was a practice that was used back, especially around the Attitude Era and stuff like that, to make matches more interesting
and more realistic, more
dramatic. So most people would have like taped up hands and stuff like that, and in there'd be a razor blade that you would do, and you would take a bump, like usually like get knocked out of the ring or something, so that people can't see your face or anything. And you take the blade and you cut yourself over your eye just a little bit, so you bleed.
So
and like
when you do that, it's a shallow cut. But the thing is, with your forehead, that like even the smallest cut will bleed bad.
Yeah. Especially when they're like really sweaty and everything.
Yeah.
And so it was used a lot, especially back in the day.
Yeah.
Blading's not legal anymore.
Yeah.
And so
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
And so
because New Jack.
Because New Jack went to this kid's. Tried to take this kid's skull.
One guy ruins the whole thing.
It's like you're supposed to blade. You don't blade the other person.
When New
right.
Jack scalped that child.
What was the name of that wrestler that like they got shears and like cut his hair on stage? But because they had, like, they wouldn't use...
they were actually sheep shears.
Yeah, sheep shears, because they wouldn't use the actual, like, regular razors.
Yeah, they weren't meant for...
So, yeah, they weren't meant for the human scalp, and the guy that was shaving him went way too deep. And so he started bleeding with hair falling off.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember what you're talking about, but I don't recall the exact details.
But anyway, blading used to be a regular practice in wrestling.
New Jack was just this insane guy that pretty much like wrestled a couple times, and then everybody was like, "We're not wrestling with you anymore.
Yeah,
you're too crazy."
Guaranteed if he went nuts on Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar would have flattened him out.
Oh yeah, he would have probably taken that guy's head off.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar's body would have blunted the razor.
That's right. If not that, because, there was that one shoot punch that he did on Braun Strowman that legit sort of rocked him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because Braun was being too rough.
Like Brock Lesnar is already like a real life Baki character.
He is.
He is a Baki character.
You wouldn't survive his agony rush.
No, of course not. I wouldn't. Anyway.
Sorry.
So we got 3 voicemails. They were all from the Crafting Cosplayer.
Oh.
Because she was listening to our other podcast. She had to pause, record a message, send it to us, and then keep listening, and then record another.
That's sweet.
So
that's very nice.
We got 3 just from her.
Okay, why not? Let's do it.
But they're all very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So this first one was because I don't know the names of actresses, and so she very nicely and gently informs me.
Yes.
Because I said that the Sanderson sister, the hot one, was Sarah Michelle Gellar.
That's right.
But
then she gently reprimands you.
She gently reprimands you.
For saying that Sarah Michelle Gellar is hot?
That she played this character.
Oh.
Hey guys, it's the Crafting Cosplayer, and I just wanted to quickly correct you on one little thing. It is Sarah Jessica Parker, not Sarah Michelle Gellar. I guess that's easy enough to mix up. I absolutely love that character. I actually cosplay as Sarah, so I'm pretty excited that you actually mentioned Hocus Pocus, because it was one of my absolute favorites as a child. And I'm also really excited to hear you talk about the live action Three Musketeers movie, because that was another one as a child that I absolutely loved. So it was kind of like, yay, I'm not the only weirdo in the world. Anyway, thank you guys for your podcast. Love it.
How dare you mix up these 2 actresses?
I know, with names that are similar like that.
How dare you mix up Sarah with Sarah?
I know.
Thank you, Crafting Cosplayer. That was actually very sweet of her.
And yes, we're rewatching The Three Musketeers again recently. And yeah, that movie's great. I love it.
It's a lot of fun.
It's
so much
so
fun.
good. I love it.
So much fun.
Years ago, I mixed up Jamie Lee Fox and Jamie Curtis, and I said Jamie Lee Fox.
I still remember the day I floored you accidentally years ago when I accidentally mixed up. It was Raul Julia with who was it?
Julia Roberts? I don't know.
No. I think
no. As soon as you remember, bring it back, because I'm interested to hear this.
I think it was like Gary Busey and like Raul Julia or something like that.
Yeah.
And you just laughed for like 15 minutes straight.
Because they're not the same.
Garrett Bursey!
Garrett Bursey.
He's not... No, sorry. No. I was about to say, he's not okay. But
nobody thinks he's okay.
All right. Next voicemail.
Yes, next voicemail. This one I think Josh will like.
Hey guys, this is Crafting Cosplayer. I'm sorry I'm making messages as I'm listening to your podcast. I loved Chalk Zone as a kid. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that show, and that just... everything flooded back. I'm so glad that you mentioned that show. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I need to look that up now. I used to love that show so much. Thanks, guys.
I see. A woman of culture.
She just shot some Chalk Zone right into her arm, and it was just flooding her brain.
That's right.
Yeah. And she's
Pure concentrated Chalk Zone.
And she got you to think for that, Josh.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
I love how everyone but me has seen Chalk Zone.
I think that's really funny.
I think I like more that only you have seen Secret of the Seal.
I might. Maybe it was from my planet. That's why nobody here.
That's right. So we're receiving messages hailed from Earth again. Oh, I see. Is it their local broadcast? Yes. From 50 years ago. Look, man, if we shot those messages into space, it's still going to take a while for them to reach any intelligent life.
Yeah. That is assuming they use the same technology.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, yeah. So, next voicemail.
Yep. And this is the last one by the Crafty Cosplayer.
Hi guys, it's the Crafting Cosplayer again. Sorry. Anyway, I just really wanted to say that I'm very shocked that you guys didn't talk about the Black Cauldron as far as underrated movies went. That was one of my all-time favorite movies as a kid because I was a very odd child and I never grew out of that. Anyway, I loved The Hunchback of Notre Dame and I loved the Black Cauldron, and I also loved Emperor's New Groove. That was one of my favorites as well. But as far as creepy movies went, and my go-to movies were The Black Cauldron and Hunchback of Notre Dame. So I hope you guys keep on doing these little podcasts that dive deep into my childhood, because this is like nostalgia to the max. Thank you guys.
That's so sweet.
We
It is
appreciate
sweet.
that, Crafting Cosplayer.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
And-
we
sure
really
do.
I didn't talk about Black Cauldron being underrated because I don't think I watched it.
I also I don't think I've ever actually seen Black Cauldron all the way through.
I have. It was a long time
also
ago.
have.
Can you verify its underratedness?
You know what? Yes. And I say that what probably propelled it into that sort of situation was the fact that it was one of Disney's few attempts into mature storytelling through their animation. That's the thing. Disney, like, I can't remember when he said it, but he's been on record of saying that he sort of laments, like, he's not mad about it, like, he was never upset about it. He appreciated his empire that he built, but there was always that one last lingering bit that he always wanted to be able to tell mature stories in an accessible way. And Black Cauldron was one of those attempts. And it does get dark in parts, but it's still a quality piece of cinema, I feel. Pyman, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I like the movie overall, mostly because of the artwork and the animation.
Exactly.
I had actually read the series of novels that the Black Cauldron came
Ooh.
from prior to seeing it, and so it was. As a kid, I was really disappointed because it's so different.
Yes.
Like, a lot of the characters are just the character in name.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just not even remotely like the novels were. And so that kind of turned me off to it. But now that I'm older, I look back on it, and yeah, it's a quality piece of cinema.
Yeah.
Regardless.
And, you know, I think I'm also going to throw in Treasure Planet in there.
Yeah,
It's
Treasure
like-
Planet.
Yeah,
I love
Yay!
Treasure Planet.
No, it's a bad movie. I'm just kidding. I also love Treasure Planet.
I love it so much.
Jazza makes a big deal about Treasure Planet, and I'm like, Jazza, calm down.
No, that's the wrong accent. That was the absolute wrong
I
accent I,
have
was
no
about
idea
to
what
do.
that was.
It was just mouth
Did you
mumbling.
have a stroke there? for a
I
minute?
did. I
You
felt
alright?
half my face go numb. What was the other movie that she just mentioned on top of Black Cauldron?
Oh,
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I did
Nobody
see
likes that movie, though.
That's true. And we also... Guys, did we bash a little bit on Emperor's New... No, we bashed on Krunk. We bashed on Krunk a little bit.
You bashed on Krunk. I
Yeah.
love
No,
Krunk.
sorry. We bashed on Krunk's New Groove.
Krunk's New Groove I did bash
Yes.
on. That's not a
Yeah,
good
the
movie.
show.
Yeah, that's what it was. Krunk's New Groove and the Emperor's New School.
Yeah. Both are not
no.
Now you're getting straight into when that like committee made stuff was like at its worst.
That's when
Yeah.
things were falling apart.
Yeah.
great. I mean, they had already started before, but
Yeah.
yeah, they were definitely
like prime example right there.
No, yeah, Emperor's New Groove. We didn't bash Emperor's New
No,
Groove.
sorry.
We said
No.
that we liked it, but it was right at the precipice where Disney started
right.
just to kind of
Yeah.
give up on
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fair point, yeah.
And we're all like,
Like,
how
but
old
does
are
Krunk-
fellow kids?
And we're all like, does Krunk have sex?
yeah, we did.
Somebody
we
on
did discuss
Reddit brought that up.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I brought it up because of that.
Yes. Because this is a question that needs
It
answering.
needs answering.
It is an interesting question to consider. It's a quandary to ponder.
Yes.
It is a quandary indeed.
I believe you were saying before the podcast got started, you had there was a couple points you wanted to touch on.
Yeah, I was just waiting to see.
No, yeah, like, unless you guys wanted to.
You guys want to talk about New Jack for a half hour?
About all the
You
about
jacked
all
me up
the
an old man.
about all the kids he's bladed.
That's so vicious. You don't blade
with,
someone
with
else.
New Jack the Ripper.
Sometimes you did.
I know.
The kid wasn't actually a wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse.
He and his father had approached the promoter
Yeah.
and introduced themselves as being experienced in wrestling.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And he had name dropped a couple of actual
Yeah.
legitimate wrestling trainers.
Yeah.
So the desperate promoter was like, "Yeah, fine, okay, get
Yeah,
in the ring."
yeah.
And he was supposed to blade.
Yeah.
But he wasn't comfortable doing it because
Yeah.
he had obviously never done it before.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Can I have the other guy do it for me?" And they went, "Okay, yeah, sure."
Yeah, sure. Let
And their
New Jack
mistake
blade
was
you.
getting New Jack.
Yeah, and that was where the fatal mistake was made.
Knew the Beast Jack. so it was the promoter's fault more than anything for not like vetting this kid.
Yeah, they ended up taking him to court. It was
Oh,
really,
yeah.
it was
I bet.
really bad because
Yeah.
it was like just before the first pay-per-view for what was the company? Was it Ice? ECW?
Was it ECW?
I
That
think
sounds like
I
it.
think it was ECW. It was it was like just before they were going to do their first pay-per-view, and they got a lot of flack for it, so they ended up having to delay the pay-per-view for
That's
like
why?
a good
That's crazy.
while. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty...
I mean, what else are you going to do when New Jack almost blenders you in front of your family?
I know.
You sue him.
You sue the
Well,
hell out of that.
I don't think they sued New Jack. They sued the promoter.
Yeah.
And the company.
Yeah.
Technically, it would be you didn't rein your
Yeah. Your monster.
Your monster in.
You sent a serial killer after this child. What did you think was going to happen?
I think that the courts ended up deciding, well, you misrepresented yourself also, so everybody's at fault.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Well, you misrepresented yourself. Well, yeah, but you sent New Jack.
I didn't know you were going to put me in the ring with the demon.
Nobody saw New Jack devil triggering on a 16-year-old.
As he suddenly unleashes the beast. Gosh, New Jack.
He's so scary.
It almost as scary as the Boogeyman. Remember the Boogeyman who ate live worms?
Yeah, with a big wad of worms in his mouth.
Oh man, that was disgusting.
So you had some topics you wanted to bring up?
Yes, I did. I was just double checking on New Jack. Apparently, he's wrestling again.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Who is letting him wrestle?
Maybe
I'm
he's
trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Maybe he's learned it. Maybe he's learned to tame the monster within.
You know, the way you guys describe New Jack, I just imagine him looking like a more beefy Wired Beck from JoJo.
Oh.
Where he's got, like, spikes all sticking out of him, and he's just, like, spinning to, like, blend people up. And like, some kind of mix between Wired Beck and Zaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was independent for quite a few years, and then he went to TNA for a little bit, and then he officially retired, and then he came back again.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. He's scary.
Who has he bladed recently?
Well, considering blading's illegal now, probably no one.
Thankfully.
Yeah, he was big in
not
ECW.
illegal. You can still do it. You just can't do it in the WWE.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are a lot more...
I mean, you can go out in your backyard and blade all you want.
Yeah, backyard wrestling.
Well, I mean, WWE, they went through a phase where they were really trying to get kind of PG with stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, like, even if someone started bleeding from an actual, like, hit
Wound,
they took in the ring,
Yeah.
they would stop the match and mop them up.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want blood on TV. They didn't want anything to...
That reminds me of a time, I don't remember who it was. There was like a ladder match that was going on, and somebody had set up a ladder to do like do this spot that was supposed to happen, and somebody had like landed on one end of the ladder, and so like the feet part of the ladder shot up and hit somebody in the face and just like busted their face open. They were just leaking blood.
Oh, man.
It's just like that wasn't meant to happen, but it's just let's just go with it.
Roll with it.
So now when
how
you
can we turn this into an angle?
now when you see blood, it's like, well, they actually like got hurt there.
Because you can always turn a shoot into a work, but you should never let a work turn into a shoot.
That's right. Never ever.
Never ever.
So I guess we're ready to move on to not wrestling now.
We'll come back to wrestling. Just wait.
We'll get back to it.
Oh, please. We're shooting from the hip today. Everything's going to bounce around, but go ahead.
Oh yeah. I wanted to talk to you guys about video games. I hear you guys
Video
are
games?
kind of like video games.
You guys like video games? Video games?
Have you guys ever played a video game?
Have you guys seen this thing called video games?
Hey, bring that up. Have you seen this yet?
But aren't video games a colossal waste of time?
Absolutely.
I thought video games were promoting violence so that we lash out at society.
You know,
No,
this-
they're promoting sexism.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
This one time, I was in a pizzeria and I saw a video game.
Wow.
Oh.
And you tried to exorcise the demon and they kicked you out.
Well, I mean, yeah, but before that, I saw a video game.
Right.
So I've been seeing discussions around the internet talking about kind of the fall of some big video game companies and stuff. There's some that are still like holding on strong, and I'm really happy that they have been. Companies like Nintendo, which
Yeah.
we grew up Nintendo. Smiter and I grew up Nintendo. We're strong Nintendo
Yeah.
proponents.
With a
Have always
side
been.
of PlayStation.
We don't like PlayStation.
Yeah. My favorite franchise is on PlayStation. Back off.
Your favorite franchise is owned by a company you don't like.
That's true.
My favorite franchise is gone forever.
Don't say it. The pain is still too real.
I know, I'm sorry.
This pain is just too real. But a lot of the big companies that come to mind, a lot are what people refer to as the 3Bs. The 3Bs are Blizzard, BioWare, and Bethesda. And I just wanted to talk
That
to you
wasn't what I
because
was thinking.
I was gonna say, I mean, I'm sure referred to by no one.
yeah, referred to by no one.
I wouldn't say no one. Please continue.
And I wanted to see what your guys' experiences are with these companies and how you, if you have any strong opinions about how they've gone, if you were like big fans of them before, or if you still are somehow.
I mean,
big fans of them.
I guess each one is just kind of they came and went for me. Like they had their good stuff that they made before, and then it's only gone downhill.
That's a good question. Because I don't know about being a fan of the developer. There's only like a handful of things that I've been fans of the developer, like Platinum.
Right.
I love the stuff that Platinum does.
Right.
I think the closest I ever came to that was maybe Bethesda,
Yeah.
because I really liked Fallout 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and a
Oh,
bigger
no, that's
fan-
the wrong one. You're supposed to like New Vegas.
Yeah. Only New
sorry.
Vegas.
That's right. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the funny thing because I played Fallout 3 and I played Fallout New Vegas and I liked them fine, but I didn't follow them like religiously the way everybody else did. So
You're telling
I
me
kind of was able to
you
get.
haven't played Brotherhood of Steel?
No, I haven't. No. So like I kind of like I mean, and I picked up Fallout 4. Regrettably, that wasn't very fun. So I was never really on the Bethesda train like to begin with, and I'm glad I'm not because it's gone up in like nuclear fire.
Yep.
BioWare's sad more than anything because they used to make like some pretty good games, and now they are really just kind of a shell of their former self.
They gave us KOTOR, didn't they? Knights of the Old Republic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did.
I was
They did.
BioWare.
They gave us that. They gave us Mass Effect.
Yeah,
that's-
BioWare did a lot of those really big RPG stuff.
Yep.
And
Dragon Age, if you like that.
and Blizzard, I never was a fan to really like begin with, and now they're just China. So
Yeah.
I mean,
It's,
Ah,
it's just the entirety of China.
basically.
They managed to squeeze it all in there.
You're telling me that the CEO of
No,
Blizzard
they're
is Xi
the
Jinping?
herald. They're the herald of China.
There you go.
So
They come in on their cosmic surfboard and be like, China is
There's something
coming.
kind of is coming.
yeah,
And then the weather goes weird.
yeah, but yeah, like they've done a couple things here and there that I've liked, but I don't think I can ever say I was like a huge proponent of them as like companies. And when you're talking about the company specifically and not the products that you're making, I feel like you really gotta like make a difference between the product and the developers, because when you talk about the developers, no matter how much good they do, these are big gigantic companies. There's going to be a lot of grossness associated with that.
Well, the main problem with all of them isn't necessarily the development company; it's the publisher that bought up the company. And
That's a
gutted
good
it.
point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Because the big thing that people think is like with Bethesda, for example, it's like when they think of Bethesda, they think of Fallout. They don't think of Bethesda the company.
Well, no,
And
it's
they
not
tend
even
to-
Bethesda. It's ZeniMax. ZeniMax
Yeah.
owns Bethesda, so they're the ones calling the shots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like because Fallout's good, that means they must be a flawless company. And
Exactly.
it's like I feel like people don't really make that divide.
No, yeah, like worshiping a company, personifying them, seeing them
Yeah.
as a hero is kind of the first mistake because
Right.
at the end of the day, it's a
Yeah.
company.
Like,
That's right.
And I don't think any company is really exempt to that. Like even something like Disney, like
Well, no,
Of course not
no
Disney.
way. I don't
like
think.
we definitely like the Disney products, but they're not the same company they used to be. Like for example,
Disney is a juggernaut of just consumption and doom.
but they make really good movies and they have really good products that we like.
And
That's true.
It's slowly encroaching on more and more of our lives, and will soon consume everything that we are, and everything that we were, and everything that we will ever be.
Boy, that's really disconcerting. I need a drink of my Disney bottled water over here
Yeah.
before
If
anything else
Your
happens.
$8
Yeah,
Disney
from your
bottled water.
That
$8
smells like
bottle
freshly
of
baked cookies for some reason.
Yeah,
No,
your
right.
$8 bottle of water that has mouse ears on it.
That's right.
You got to drink that while you're putting together your $300
But yeah, like-
lightsaber.
Gosh.
I just think that's a really important distinction to make between products and the companies that made them.
No, I mean it's true.
Agreed. Yeah. But I would say that's the closest I've ever come to being a fan of the individual companies and stuff. What about you, bro?
I realized I've never really been a fan of any of those companies. And so I talk to you guys about it ever so often.
Sure.
That I just feel bad for the people that were fans.
Oh, so you feel bad for me then?
I feel bad for you. The people that were big fans of these companies and were like, these guys are making amazing things and, really love the products that they made. Never really been a fan of Mass Effect. I thought it was okay. Okay. I've never played World of Warcraft.
Wait, but I thought you were max level.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
I'm,
wait,
uh,
sorry.
Your max level death rate.
I'm next level on all 5 of my characters.
Yeah, and you were using the blade man spec.
The Blade Man
and you
spec.
had
That's right.
400 dragon points.
I'm
Just
pretty
went-
sure I got like
You're an-
5 epic mounts.
And you're
Only 5.
you got your maxed out Blade Man, you got your maxed out Ice Mage.
Yeah.
I was really hoping Pieman would be like, cool. What's the first thing on you? What's marked as 1 on your hotkeys?
What's your first hotkey?
Terrible shout.
It'd be.
You mean intimidating shout?
That's
the one.
I thought
okay.
No, I upgraded it.
What did you
Never
upgrade
back down.
intimidating shout to?
No, it's just
It's part of my class.
And why is that on your first hotkey? That should be on like your buff bar.
Yeah,
but,
well,
no,
I
I just play it differently. You know,
okay.
You know,
Yeah, I know. Everybody sets up their hotbars differently.
I min max differently.
You min-max differently.
Oh,
Okay. So if you're min-maxing differently, what's the secondary spec on your gear sets?
you know.
what's
I
your
just-
eye level?
My eye level.
Yeah, what is your eye level?
About 5'4".
5 foot. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's decent.
That's pretty good.
It's sure good stuff. But you probably don't care that much about that. You probably no. You wouldn't care about that.
But I like KOTOR, and I like KOTOR 2, but that's as far as games that I even care about as far as
Right.
BioWare has ever
Do you mean
made.
KOTOR 2 with the restored content mod?
No.
Oh,
You're glad they cut all that content out.
Yeah, it's not necessary. We don't need
it
it.
was trash.
It's trash.
I do.
There's a reason why it got cut. It's because they couldn't afford to put it in.
I went back and I re-listened to our first podcast, and I really appreciate that part where I think it was you that said, just play the game until the budget runs out.
Yeah. When you see the money running out like life points in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I believe you said you're like about where you reach the like $100 mark left.
Yeah,
Just cut it off there.
just cut it off.
Just go until they have $100 left in their bank account, and then just never play the game again. Just uninstall.
And anyway,
Yeah. Well, what about it?
I've appreciated Bethesda from a distance, and as far as their like main titles go, it's like the Elder Scrolls. The only ones that I've ever had any experience with was Oblivion and Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me you didn't play Daggerfall?
I 100% a Daggerfall.
Oh, okay.
Or Redguard.
I only play Arena now.
You won't...
I only play Arena.
It's just like Classic.
Exactly.
It's exactly the same.
No difference.
I only play Blades,
Oh, okay.
the mobile game.
You're blading.
Yeah, I'm blading now.
I looked over at Pie Man. His chest just like made this weird heaving motion.
At the mention of mobile games.
And Fallout, like I thought was okay. I've never been a huge fan of Fallout, and so like my, I guess, admiration for any of these three companies has always been kind of lukewarm at the strongest.
Yeah, I think my admiration wasn't even at Bethesda. It was more at Obsidian writing for them.
Yeah, that one game.
That'll do it.
It'll do.
That'll do it. And Pie Man, yeah, I mean, like he mentioned actual fans, and of course he gestured towards you. So I'd like
fans.
So yeah, I actually played Daggerfall and Morrowind and Oblivion and Skyrim, and I played Diablo 1 LAN with my buddy. I was a sorcerer and I supported his rogue, and I played Warcraft 2: The Tides of Darkness.
Nice.
And Warcraft 3 and Frozen Throne.
Nice.
And World of Warcraft when it first came out. Up until now.
You
I
haven't
like
stopped there.
what's going on right here. I like. Please keep going.
And so
I played
Yeah.
Burning Crusade.
when they release Burning Crusade for Classic, I'm definitely gonna play it, because there's no way I can pass that up. But I mean, so Blizzard was bought up by Activision a while ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm surprised it's taken this long for Activision to start gutting them.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did you hear about all the fun stuff that was going on with Warcraft 3 Reforged?
Yeah.
I've heard that people are upset about it. I've kind of gotten to the point where I just don't get involved, because I don't want to be more sad than I already am.
Right.
All right.
I was just wondering if you heard like the reasons why people
the
were
details
upset with
on
it.
The only thing I heard for certain was that they didn't really do much with it. It was just sort of a graphical upgrade, and that's kind of it.
That's definitely a big part of it.
Which I'm not. What's the problem with that? Isn't that what we wanted?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not the only problem.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the only problem.
There's a little addendum to their use of service agreement
Oh, was there?
in there that people aren't very happy with.
And what does it say?
Anything that is made in custom maps, custom whatever, anything that's made using Warcraft 3 Reforged is owned by Blizzard Activision. And so if you make a new game mode, they own it, and they can do whatever they want with
Oh,
it.
because they don't want another Dota to happen.
They don't want another Dota to happen.
So
Okay.
for $60, you have the privilege to work for Blizzard.
Pretty much.
Well, to
Yeah.
be fair, don't most games with custom build modes carry that?
Huh. I didn't think about that.
I don't
as
think
far
they-
as I know.
No, I don't think they do, but that's an interesting thing
I'm
to sort
sure
of think
a few
about.
do.
I'm
Yeah.
fairly certain that from a legal standpoint, anything you make in a custom game mode in a video game doesn't belong to you.
Right.
That's it.
You wouldn't have any claim to it.
That's
legally,
interesting.
regardless
What about
of
Gary's
whether
mod?
or not Gary's mod. Well, Gary's mod is made with licensed stuff anyway.
It's just using Unity, except in the source engine.
it's Unity in the source engine.
It's Unity, but the source engine instead.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, the source engine kind of was Unity before Unity.
Yep. No, Unity is Unity.
Pieman's really got the wheels turning in my head about this. Now I'm wondering about how
Well,
many games that I enjoy and how
I'm-
many of them that I
yeah,
play
I'm
that
just
might
trying
already
to
have
think
this.
of any game that you could play where you could legally claim something you make in a custom game mode.
That's interesting.
I don't know of any of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
don't
now
know.
I'm thinking about Soul Calibur and all the characters I made in that, and all the custom stuff I made in Smash Bros. And...
You don't own any of that.
Right,
If,
yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, to be fair,
Yeah, yeah.
like the publishers of those games don't want your stuff. They don't care about what you make in your custom game modes.
Right.
But if hypothetically they
Yes.
did,
Yes.
you would not have any legal claim to it.
Of course,
Because
no.
that's all their stuff.
Yeah, it's made using their assets, their engine, their programs.
So I mean, I'm not trying to like apologize for being
No, of
apologist or
course.
anything.
Of
I
course.
get that people are upset with the way things like that
Yeah.
work, but it's not like they're the only ones doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
I also think there's a difference between making something using like this company's tools and so it belongs to them versus like I brought this up as an example to you as like the way this kind of feels, which is Skyrim Special Edition coming out and explicitly taking the mods that people made and reselling them back to you. Like they're like sure, like the mods that you make for the game would belong to them technically because you're modding their content, but it's still gross to take that and make you buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it absolutely.
And I think
it
there's
is.
more concern that they might do that with Warhammer, or not Warhammer, Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Yes.
Like, I guess there's probably some concern. I imagine that someone will make custom content in there, and then they're gonna take that content and sell it to people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that.
They might.
I'm
The way
pretty
things
sure.
are going.
I'm pretty sure that this whole thing is just to avoid another Dota.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose out on that. again.
That's very likely
That's
so. But like,
very clearly the reason.
I have zero faith in companies to do the right thing these days.
Well, no,
like
I mean-
they're going to do the absolute worst case scenario.
You don't need to have
Every
faith
time.
in them at all.
Like every time.
I just
Bethesda
think
has proved that over and over and over and over again.
I just think that people get too worked up over
Yeah.
things sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
No, gamers have never gotten worked up over anything ever.
No, we're the
Yeah.
we're the calmest people in the world. We're so chill and laid back.
We only say the most level-headed, calm things on the internet. We are the guiding force of morality out there.
Happy-go-lucky,
That's right.
devil may care kind of people.
Yep, we don't care
But
about
don't
anything.
bring up Devil May Cry not coming into Smash or I will lose it.
Oh yeah.
I told you we have 6
We
more
didn't get
characters
Dante.
coming. We got 6 more chances for that to happen.
That's right.
6 more Fire Emblem characters to be brought in.
I love that you knew all the names of all the other Fire. You keep surprising me because I know so little about Fire Emblem, and I feel like I'm getting educated every single time you bring up like a new character.
I just hope that 3 of the characters for the next Smash pack are from Dragon Quest.
That would be
They're all
fun.
new hero variations.
Yeah, there you
They're
go.
Echo Fighters for Hero.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that Sakurai did a Famitsu article?
No.
Yeah.
He had an interview.
We can. I sent you the link so you can actually post it in the description.
Is that the one
Yeah.
where he was like, "I'm sorry that you didn't get what you wanted. It's not my choice."
Yeah, it was kind of the
Kind
long
of.
and short of it. It
Really?
was like,
Yeah.
Wow.
the higher ups at Nintendo were the ones that decided
Yeah. See,
this. He has some sway in what he would really like
Okay.
put in.
Yeah.
And almost all the characters in the Fighter Pass were characters that had a long legacy.
Yeah.
A lot of the newcomers were characters that had a long legacy that were
Yeah.
like more than 20 years.
Yeah.
It's been that long
Yeah.
since they've had anything
Yeah.
come out for it. And they wanted new games
Yeah.
to have representation.
Yeah.
And they got that with Persona 5, which Sakurai loves Persona
Yeah.
5. So was able to get that in.
Yeah.
But Nintendo was like, we're going to look at what's being made right now and see what we can, put in there. And the most logical choice for everyone involved was Three Houses.
Was Three Houses, yeah.
Specifically.
combining its newness along with how much it's made so far because it's doing very well.
And he prefaces the interview by saying, I am very, very aware there is a ton of sword fighters in this game, and it's oversaturated with sword fighters. But, and then he goes on to
Why does
explain.
he keeps doing things that make me unable to be mad at him?
Yeah.
Right?
I still have to. I'll have to go back and do more Smash math to see how many sword fighter characters there are versus everyone else, because I still feel like there's more other characters than like everyone else. Or
I
than
do
sword
like
fighters.
I
I
do
feel
like
like
the idea of Smash Math.
But I don't know how it splits
Would
up.
you count Ganondorf as a sword fighter?
No.
No.
For all intent and purposes, I would say no.
Okay, that's fair.
I like that.
Um,
I do like the term Smash Math.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Smash Math.
hearing even Sakurai complain about it makes me want to see what the percentage breakdown is.
I'm
Yeah.
just mad that Sakurai, like, kowtowed to people.
Mm-hmm.
He apologized, basically.
Yeah.
And so now it's going to embolden people more to complain.
You know,
Right.
I do see that happening. Me personally, I appreciated it. And it was something that I didn't even see happening. Like
Honestly,
I didn't need that to happen.
I'm just being bitter and jaded. That's
I
all.
know.
Yes,
I know.
I don't really read it as him being an apologist. It's just him explaining the situation.
Yeah,
I know.
Which
I
is
agree.
like Sakurai has sway obviously in that he's been with the company for so long that they're gonna listen to what he has to say. But
And he's precious.
Yes,
He is
he's
so
so
and
precious.
ultimately, Nintendo, the company, is going to tell him what to do because that's who he answers to.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. But I do appreciate Pieman being honest and verifying that the obsidian around his what is it? Your blood pumper? It's not a heart.
No, yeah, it's the
Your blood apparatus?
It's the engine.
The engine. The obsidian around your engine is hardening as we speak.
It's the dark void engine that keeps me going.
That's right.
Yes.
But
No,
you know,
absolutely. All of my opinions, you have to keep this in mind. All of my opinions are just encrusted in jade and bitterness. So don't take anything I say seriously.
and you want to know something? I love you because of that.
And
Yes.
then the one time you're going to want us to take you seriously, we don't.
Like, I'm choking, guys. I'm choking.
Oh,
Like,
gosh.
He's just being
Right.
bitter and jaded. No, I actually can't breathe.
I was about to make the comparison to Mercutio when he died.
Oh, okay.
And how he's
Yes.
all like, guys, I'm not messing around. I've been stabbed. Somebody help me. And the boys are around him going,
What a joker.
Man, Mercutio, you're so funny. And he literally slaps a guy, and he's all like, get me a surgeon, and then he dies.
I've
And
lost
with-
like a quart and a half. No.
With Romeo holding him and telling him outright, like, I thought you were joking.
Dude, I'm sorry.
And then you know what Mercutio does right before he dies? A plague upon both your houses. He curses them as he dies.
Like, this wasn't just a prank, bro. You all suck.
Yeah.
You suck. You suck. I'm out. And then he dies.
Oh, I'm slain.
Oh, I am slain.
That's how you know they died.
And then he
is 'cause they tell you.
ragdolled in Romeo's arm.
I would love plays if they did more ragdolling.
As items plop out.
I think ragdolling needs to happen more often, just in general.
I've seen a guy ragdoll in real life a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's
also.
stunning.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. It's kind of a little unsettling.
I've seen two guys ragdoll each other at the exact same time.
Nice. That's
It's
fun.
insane.
So
Like,
the-
I don't know how I can do the description justice to what I actually saw, but it's two guys and they managed to throw a punch at the same time, and they're beautiful, perfect punches. They're just thrown at the same time, and one of them connects on the side of the temple, which is a perfect off switch if you can land that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny metaphor for it, but that's kind of like how boxers and stuff
Oh,
call
kind
it.
of, yeah.
Yeah, and another off switch is right here on the edge of the chin. And so one guy hooked around and connected with that. Another guy did a straight right onto the chin. And they both connected, and they both fell. And the ref runs in, and you see he was completely bewildered as to what to do about this. But yes, ragdoll physics would be kind of nice to see a little bit more often.
I just like the idea of like somebody like
Doing a slow death.
just like and do a slow death, and they're
Yeah.
like sitting there for a little bit, and then just like pop right
Yeah.
off.
Their physics reset.
Yep.
Yeah. That's always my favorite.
Yeah, I can't be mad at Sakurai.
I know I can't be mad at
I'm
him.
trying.
either. He's
I'm
too
really
precious.
trying.
I don't know why anyone would be mad at him in the first place.
Right.
But I'm also a huge Nintendo shill, so
Fair enough. Very
they
much.
don't even
right.
pay me.
You're,
Oh shoot! I have to buy
You're
the new
soy
Three
boy
Houses
Nintendo
expansion.
Yes.
I do have to buy that.
More waifus. Heck yeah.
More waifus for my waifu.
There's that one that
pat
has her
head?
belly out, and I'm like, yeah.
And I was, you know what? I'm gonna reprimand her.
Wait,
I'm
has
gonna
her
go
what
up.
out?
Belly.
Oh, okay.
She wears like a crop top or
Oh,
whatever.
all right.
And you know what? As a professor, I'm willing to reprimand her and be like, Missy, that's not regulation.
Yeah, that's not appropriate for school.
Yeah.
No spaghetti straps. No midriffs.
Yes.
If you're wearing a skirt, you got to put your hands next to your side, and if it isn't as long as your fingers are, then you
Yep.
got to change.
And we have an ugly set of sweatpants and stuff
Yep.
in the principal's office that you'll have to wear.
That's
Hey,
right.
you guys ever have time in high school where you would see girls wearing a skirt but also had like those ugly sweatpants on underneath?
A handful
On a
of
couple
times.
occasions,
Yeah.
It wasn't super common.
No, it wasn't. Well, it's because most kids like learn after a little bit.
Yeah.
That's true.
Some kids don't learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure most of it is probably they didn't care more than anything.
Yeah, there's also that.
Absolutely.
Girls wear pants or something. Come on. So anyway,
Pants are better anyway.
pants are better anyway.
Yeah. So sorry, the three Bs.
Yes.
I
was gonna.
Sakurai Kojima and the head of Platinum.
Kamiya.
Kamiya, thank you. My big three Bs. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
that makes
Thank
that
you.
works.
No, that
Thank
makes
you.
sense.
Yes.
Sakura,
You see-
Kojima, and Kamiya.
The rules can change if you're stubborn enough.
So, we all know how much you really used to, at least, love Blizzard. How do you feel? What were your experiences with the other two companies?
That's actually a good question, yeah.
Oh wait, you also played a
Yeah.
lot of Elder Scrolls. Also.
Yeah.
I've played most of the Elder Scrolls games. I played most of the Fallout games too.
Did you play the one where you can be stupid and win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't play a stupid character. Like I tried to
That's
play
true.
for real.
the big dumb muscle Chad.
No, I went for like shooting and computers.
How did you describe, what was the word you used before? Giga Chad.
Yeah, Giga Chad.
See, when you describe that build, I think of Brock Lesnar with like a toddler head.
That's a Giga Chad,
Or just Brock Lesnar.
or just Brock Lesnar.
Which is like the stupid low intelligence, high strength build.
I love it.
What if Brock Lesnar had Paul Heyman's head?
So they
Then
become
he'd
one.
be able to actually say something.
So he yells and just throws shade at everybody and then beats them up.
Yeah.
He'd cut better promos. He would cut way better promos by himself.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, by default,
Yeah.
if he was both the wrestler and his own handler.
Yeah. That's what The Rock did.
Well, yeah.
But he's the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
The Rock is something special, man.
Well, he's just a passing star.
There's very few people that'll ever be as good as The Rock on the
Yeah.
mic and in the ring.
Yeah.
Why do you think like half of his family is in the WWE now?
That's
right.
right. Yeah.
Because they're trying to catch that shooting star one more time.
They're hoping that his talent was genetic and that they're going to be able to find more.
Yep.
What we need to do is that we need, like, when the computers eventually take over, when the robots finally take it over, we just need to send Brock in there to have that dialogue tree of and How did, like, you can absolutely beat that final boss doing that, right?
Well, I mean, the final boss, you can either talk him down,
Yeah.
which is actually really hard.
Yeah.
You have to choose all the right dialogue options. And,
Oh yeah, you need maxed out speech.
yeah, and
Okay.
you know the stats for it too.
Yeah.
But you know you can just fight him and kill him.
Okay. Yeah.
You can do the same thing in New Vegas. Also, you can talk down the one of the like final encounters.
Wow. I knew you could do that in 3, not one of the final encounters, but a pretty pivotal
Yeah.
encounter. You can just convince the computer to self-destruct.
Well, I mean that's one of the reasons that a lot of people don't like Fallout 4.
John Henry Eaton.
was
Yeah, because
they-
it doesn't allow that.
they don't have those options.
Yeah.
You
Like
can't-
like the speech stat might as well just not even be there.
Fair enough.
Especially because it's even different in 4 because in the previous games your chances of convincing someone with a speech option was dependent on your stat. So if it was too low, you just couldn't do it.
Right.
But
That's true.
in 4, it just works off of a pure percentage. So if you're playing especially on PC, you can quick save before speech and just hammer that until the chance rolls and you get it.
That's awful.
Yeah, so this
not
literally speech just doesn't matter.
That is really too bad.
Well,
And beyond the fact that all of your, like every one of your dialogue options, no matter who you talk to, is yes, 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 and sarcastic yes.
Yes, yes, no, sarcastic.
yeah, there is
yes.
a no in there.
Not if you're doing the main story, you gotta move forward.
You got to move forward somehow.
That's true.
Well, if you want to complete the game, yes.
That's nuts.
And sometimes the no is just attack.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
the no is just fight.
That's too bad. That is really too bad.
So at AGDQ this last year, which was not but a month ago. Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
they
Awesome
had
games done quick.
awesome games done quick. Which for anybody that's not familiar
Please watch it.
is a speedrunning marathon. So it's a week-long thing where they just stream for a week long, and they have a bunch of speedrunners come in and just speedrun games that they're
It's
really
fantastic.
good at it.
It's one of my favorite events to watch.
And there was a speedrunner named Tomato Anus, but because they were streaming on AGDQ, he had to be Tomato Angus instead.
Yes.
And he would
100% Angus tomato.
when he introduces himself, he's like, "Hi, my name is Tomato Angus. The G is silent." And he's playing,
That's clever.
and he runs a game that is referred to as the Fallout Anthology, which is him just going through Fallout 1, 2, 3, 4, and New Vegas all in a row.
Wow.
And he gets through 1, 2, 3, and New Vegas in like an hour and a half, and then he spends another hour and a half beating Fallout 4.
Wow.
And so,
Wow, just by comparison, that's pretty intense.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he explains everything, and he has like funny little diagrams and
Yeah.
stuff. He has this thing where he explains like how if you fall out of world, there's like a plane that will teleport you back up. It's like, and if you fall out of world at a specific spot, if there's something blocking you, then you'll be teleported on top of that.
Wow.
And that's used to get through like doors and stuff
Wow.
that you otherwise have to like go through a bunch of stuff in order to get to. Anyway, but he's got like paper cups glued to like a piece of cardboard. He's, like, explaining, like using it.
At some point, he needs to like fold a piece of paper in half and then like punch through it with the pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's how that works.
That's how wormholes work. But yes, it's very, very funny and very entertaining. But I've seen him speedrun those games, and in New Vegas, he maxes out his speech option and just like talks down the guy, and then I'm trying to remember the robot with the smiley face is Yes Man.
Yeah.
That's his name. You make Yes Man like the most important person in all of New Vegas, and like the fastest option is him. Like you go to Hoover Dam and you go because there's a big war that's coming and this like legion that's coming, and you just talk to the leader, be like, "Hey, you don't want to like mess with us." When you have maxed out speech, and he's like, "Oh, okay," and he leaves.
Yeah.
But like one of the ending cutscenes is Yes Man like going to like the big general of New Vegas and just tossing him off Hoover Dam. He just does this really great ragdoll like all that. It's one of the funniest things ever. But yeah, that made me think about that. It's just
Yeah.
Yes Man throwing a guy off a Hoover Dam.
Yeah, I love how you can do that. You just put every single point you can into speech and just literally just talk everyone off their perch.
Yeah.
I really like. I think I told you once before, Pieman, that I've heard a couple of speedrunners use this term only a couple of times, but I just love the term of, okay, I'm going to do this, and then the computer, the game is going to get confused, and then it's going to plop me right at the end of the game.
I mean, that's what a lot of speedrunning tactics are, is just confuse the program so
Yeah.
that it just kind of gives up.
But I just love and I think you and I like made a joke about that. I was like, oh, you were there, but you have this thing that means that you're at the end of the game, so I'm just going to pick you up and place you at the end of the game.
That reminds me of the Sonic 06 speed run.
Oh, that thing is broken.
There's
They
a
just
thing.
played the game normally.
Yeah, right?
There's a technique that you do that involves taking a submission, doing a regular mission, completing the regular mission, then accepting the submission, beating the submission, and because the game doesn't know where to put you, there's a failsafe in there that just puts you at the end credits.
Yeah.
And, so,
And that
just
counts
what
as
they
completing
do.
the game.
And they're like, there you go, there's the end credits, we did it.
That's quite the failsafe.
And because of that, you could
Fine,
complete
you won.
you could complete Sonic 06 in 7 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? Fine, have it. You won.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so they've done it with the Sonic playthrough in AGDQ before.
Yeah.
They did the Silver story this time during this
ADGQ.
AGDQ, and they made it so that it's no mission credits warp. I believe that's what it's referred to as.
Yeah.
And so they just go through it really fast. But Silver's got like really busted like physics stuff because the Havoc engine doesn't know what to do with itself sometimes.
It was still pretty young then. Yeah.
And so a lot of it just involves like him standing on a ball and like jumping on the ball, standing on the ball, and then launching the ball with him still on the ball. And it just like, and then he controls it by like standing on certain parts of the ball, and it just takes it to the end of every stage, and he hops down. It's pretty great.
He predicted stasis traveling in Breath of the Wild.
There you
He
go.
did.
Kind of. It's very similar in a sense to that.
There's another really good one in Dark Souls 1 that they did this year where you teleport to another bonfire, to another area from the Kindle, the first flame, while you use like two items at the same time while teleporting backwards. It'll get confused on where your coordinates are supposed to be. It'll just put you past the door so you don't have to get any of the boss souls.
Yep.
What?
So you could just clip through the wall. Well, it puts you
insane.
on the other side of the wall.
How really can you do that in the game?
I think the speed run is like half an hour long.
It's
What?
about an hour.
Do you
About an
even
hour,
spend
somewhere around
time in the asylum?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, because you start there.
you have to start it.
Well, I mean, like, do you even like get through the asylum?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you also kill the asylum demon real fast.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because you just, it turns out if you start with your 10 black fire bombs, that's enough damage to take out his max health.
Yep.
That's nuts.
Yeah, so you want to start with the plunging attack, but if you have the
Okay.
black fire bombs, you just walk into the arena, he hops down, and you just throw the black fire bombs and he'll die.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I had to fight that guy.
Yeah, everyone did.
Man. Because I've been going through Dark Souls 1 recently, and I've been having a great time, and just not. I'm always sort of tickled by those things. Where it's like, some people had trouble with that guy.
I really love watching speedruns because it makes playing the games that we love more fun.
Yeah,
Because it usually introduces stuff that's really easy to do.
yeah.
Which we've done in various when we've streamed and played games and
You
stuff.
guys remember the Resi 4 playthrough?
Yeah, I remember the Resi 4 playthrough.
How I actually that was my first time ever actually attempting speedrun tech.
Yeah.
Like I only found out about that recently, and that feels very special to me.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not a speedrunner, but I'm happy that I was able to learn and actually employ that.
You were
Yeah.
excited to use things that you had picked up.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
again,
always very
on
fun.
games that we love.
Right. We've done it on Double Dragon Neon also.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because there's a punch
Animation cancel.
animation cancel in that game that's incredibly easy to do.
Yeah.
And when you go up against bonus beasts, what you do is that you punch and then tap the run button, and it cancels his punch. So then you can punch again.
Yeah.
So when you just beat up the bonus beast, it's just like it's the best thing ever.
Jackhammer all the cash out of them.
Now, when we were doing the playthrough, we made the joke of Fist of the North Star, but I guess kids these days would be more about that Ora these days.
Ora.
No,
Yeah.
Ip Man, that's what everybody's about.
Ip
Ip
Man.
Man.
Ip Man's pretty cool.
Ip Man's really cool. I love it, man. So back to the subject that we were talking about before. Oh, really quick. Also, during the Sonic 06 speedrun with Silver's
Yes.
story, they skipped all the cutscenes because they wanted to, go fast as a speedrun, except for one cutscene, and it's that cutscene after the Shadow boss fight when Silver and Shadow are like fighting each other, and Silver gets all frustrated and he's like going to come at Shadow like that for some reason, like a downward punch.
Yeah.
It's really dumb. And Shadow just like watches him. He does chaos control, walks over, and then just kicks him right in the head.
Yeah.
It's the best cutscene in that game because Silver can't do anything about it.
I love when speedrunners are willing to like sacrifice a little bit of time to like make the run more entertaining.
Yes.
Like when they did the Star Wars Episode 1 PS1 game, they sacrificed a couple minutes off of their runtime by keeping the voice dialogue on in order to get the voice acting.
Oh, no way.
Beautiful.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
It's like if you
awesome.
turn off
Watch
voice
that.
dialogue, it saves like a couple minutes because the scenes will run faster.
Yeah,
That's nuts. I didn't know that.
that's great.
Another thing that, like, on the topic of sacrificing time for making more entertainment, there was a Minish Cap playthrough where what's the name of the talking hat again? Eslo. So they modded Eslo's dialogue a little bit through the emulator,
Yeah.
and there's a point where I think Link got another key item, and you're up on a high place with the Eslo. And Eslo starts talking again with that, jive talking, squawking mouth of his. And they replaced his dialogue with whatever he was saying at the time with, now, make sure to drink plenty of water and take lots of rest. And when it says that, the speedrunner himself and his couch of buddies, all in unison, no dialogue, they see it, and they all reach down and take a big drink of water. And the crowd eats it up.
Yeah, don't forget to drink water.
Oh, and I love it when the crowd gets involved, too.
Yeah, me too.
Like, during the Banjo-Kazooie playthrough, how the crowd will mimic Grunty's dialogue. As Grunty's going... everybody in the crowd is going... Oh, that's another thing. They'll also do wahays and gahas.
Oh yeah, I remember there was Banjo-Tooie.
Yes.
I remember they were getting to a point in the game and the speedrunner was all like, everybody get your wahays ready. And then it's Tip-Top and he's on his back and he's sliding around.
Yep.
And he's just, wahay!
Yep. And
Wahay!
every time the crowd would go, wahay! I love those moments.
It's very
I
good.
love those moments. And Pieman, tell us more about what you loved about Elder Scrolls when you used to like it.
Hey, you guys remember in the Elder Scrolls when if you went into your inventory screen and took off your armor, you'd be naked?
I do remember hearing about that.
That's cool.
That's cool.
You had to put in the mod for naked means naked for Skyrim.
Yeah, you gotta mod it now.
You gotta mod it in.
Back in the day,
they're naked.
Back in the day, that stuff shipped.
Yeah.
Man,
That's cool. Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be still using the creation engine, so it's going to be exactly like Skyrim.
Awesome.
Man.
I can get Caliente's Beautiful Bodies mod on.
Yay!
Your weird sex mods will carry over.
Yeah.
No, I was more of a diamondized UNP kind of guy.
Break that one down for me.
It's just a different mod.
I remember
a more
hearing
different
about
mod.
something called the Living World mod, and that was that it was small touches around the world that would make it that more NPCs were on the road and stuff, and occasionally you would see the two factions that were at war occasionally skirmishing in large numbers.
Oh, there's
that's
like
cool.
if you can think of it, there's probably a mod for it for Skyrim at this point.
Agreed.
You can turn Skyrim into any other game.
Yeah,
It's kind of become the new Gary's mod.
kind of.
Fair enough.
Like, actually.
There is a really cool mod I remember hearing about, which was like it's like a survival mod where you had to be able to eat and drink stuff, you had to sleep, and you could freeze to death if you stayed outside too long. Like, depending on what you're wearing.
That's extra bits of hassle that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd added like cloaks and stuff that had different heat ratings.
Yeah.
I like that.
It depended on what the weather was where you were. If you were wet, like get cold and tired faster.
I really like that, but I'm also a weirdo that likes Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater a lot for its survival elements.
Well, I'm pretty sure all of us did.
We all love Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
We all went, oh wow, I have a bullet in my leg. I better get it out with my first aid kit.
And then you watch Snake get it out.
By making a bigger wound by putting your knife in there.
Yeah.
No, it's fine though. He's got bandages.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll fix it up.
Won't that be really annoying during boss fights?
It's realistic!
Oh man, I'm low on health. I better shove this wild snake down my gullet.
That being said, though, if you ever do get shot in real life with a bullet, arrow, or otherwise, like, the worst thing you can do is take it out.
It's true.
That's true. Unless you're Big Boss.
Unless you're in a hospital.
Yeah, right? They have entire procedures for that.
Yeah. Where they can take it out safely. Or you could be like Rikio and just leave them in as reminders.
Oh, God.
Souvenirs. Excuse me. That's what it was.
Rikio, the Legend of Ricky?
Yeah. How many times did he get shot? 5 or 6?
I want to say it was 5.
I think it was like 5.
Yeah, I think it was
great.
5 bullets.
Because when they were bringing him into the prison, and the metal detector went off, they were like, "Oh, it's got something on him." It was all like, "No." And they took him to like the X-ray machine. And he, like, very dramatically rips his shirt open and walks over, and you can see, like, the bullet still lodged in his midsection.
I mean, that's cool, but it's going to make getting a CAT scan later, like, really hard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, the best part was when he goes through the metal detector and it goes off, and they all freak out, and the guards jump him, and they try to hit him with their nightsticks.
Oh, yeah.
And he blocks it because his iron arms.
Yeah.
You can't hurt Ricky. And then he dramatically...
Iron arms?
Yeah, you can't hurt him.
Really quick, it should be noted that I am somehow the only one that has still not seen Rikio, the story of Ricky. Please continue.
And then he lowers his arms, and then he just rips his shirt open very, very abruptly. Just very suddenly,
Yeah.
it shows you his shredded body.
Well-oiled shredded bod.
That's right.
And then they do like the little wand detector.
Yes.
And they get the squeaks around his chest, so they run him over to the X-ray machine.
Nice.
Yep.
Why didn't you let the doctors take out the bullets? Souvenirs.
Dang, Ricky, you so cool. Why you so cool, Rikio?
Why are you so cool, Rikio?
And he takes a shank through the hand and
Yep.
doesn't care, and then just pulls it out slowly.
With that's a very real hand that he was definitely had stabbed.
Yeah, like when he tripped the dude and he fell and hit himself and stabbed himself with the block of wood with the nails in it that was just there for some reason.
That was just
an actual dude.
It was like what was it, like a wood like car or something like that? Like a little toy wood car that had nails poking out of it.
So yeah, the bad guy he had taken the toy wooden car that the old man had made and he smashed it over his head. So the implication was it was a chunk of wood from that, but the piece of wood he fell on looked nothing like anything even remotely on that toy.
Yeah.
It was just a plank with like 6 nails sticking out.
It was like a nail bat.
That's awesome.
And then that guy also jumps out of the ground and kicks a dog in half.
Yes, the guy who jumped out of the tube, the sewer grate, and just there's a dog there, and he just kicks it in half.
Yep.
And then takes the dog's guts and plugs up Ricky's air hole because he's buried alive and he has an air hole.
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It was punishment.
There's also the guy that Ricky's fighting who is like on the ground defeated, but then he pulls out his own intestines and starts strangling Ricky with them.
Oh God.
Yes.
What about the guy that slaps another guy's head so hard that it explodes?
Yes, that's Tyson or Tarzan in the dubbed version.
Wow.
Yes, he's huge and powerful, and
He's just that strong.
he just punches dudes' faces off.
I feel like I really need to watch Rikio.
I'm
You
shocked
do.
that we haven't gotten you to watch it
This
yet.
is kind of a weird Mandela effect, but I thought you were with us when we watched it, but I guess not.
I also could have sworn that you've seen it.
No, sorry. Haven't seen Rikio.
That's why I said it was a weird Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. It was the other dimension with the other smiter.
Yeah,
right.
you came from the Berenstain where it's spelled STEI.
Speaking of, this year, we're getting a horror movie that's based on the Mandela Effect.
Yeah, I saw.
Yes. You're so right. Oh my
And
gosh.
I didn't watch any of the trailers or anything. I just saw it and I was like, that looks like terrible
I think
trash.
the best thing they could do is film a bunch of different endings to that movie and not say anything and just put them in random theaters.
There you go. That'd be fun.
Hey, that would actually be clever.
Yeah,
They're probably not going to do
that
that.
would
Do
be
that.
cool, and therefore you're right. Yeah, they're not going to do that.
That would be legitimately cool and a very nice idea, Josh. They are definitely not going to do that.
100%.
Except they will in the other dimension.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's some weird movies coming out this year that I'm pretty sure nobody asked for. We're getting Mandela Effect. We're getting a new Saw movie.
Oh, you're right. It's called
And-
Spiral now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting
The Book of Saw.
yeah, starring Chris Rock.
Yeah.
No, really?
Yeah.
Is
Really?
it supposed to be like a hard reboot though?
It could. I'm gonna have to watch the trailer. I'm gonna have to watch the
I
trailer.
didn't either because all I heard was Saw and my brain turned
No,
off.
it very well. I think it could still very well be like a sequel, and they're just gonna be like, oh, it's a Jigsaw cult.
Yeah,
Jigsaw cult.
And we're also getting a remake of Invisible Man.
I saw that, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel about
All these
that.
movies, I'm
Invisible
like,
Man?
nobody wants any of these.
You mean Hollow Man starring Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, Hollow Man.
Hey,
Hollow
maybe
Man.
don't bring up Hollow Man.
Remember the time you saw his dong?
Oh.
But you didn't see his dong?
I didn't actually watch Hollow Man.
It's okay, you don't need to watch
I
Hollow Man.
actually caught pieces of Hollow Man when I was like really young.
Me too, and
Like
it freaked
way
me
too
out.
young to watch it.
Yeah, it freaked me
Yeah.
out when I watched it.
I didn't sit down and watch the whole thing. I think I just would like see bits and pieces of it.
Yeah. But yeah, I was surprised. Oh, Invisible Man? I didn't think
Yeah.
we'd see this ever again.
I wonder if they'll do a faithful adaptation.
Of course
That's
not.
it.
Oh, yeah.
I-
know. Why the hell
Why?
did I
Why?
ask that?
Yeah, I really want them to try and do something with the Dark Universe. That way we can eventually get a remake of Monster Squad.
We're never
Yes.
going to get a remake
We
of Monster Squad.
we need to get that Monster Mash going again.
That was the entire purpose of the Dark
That
Universe.
is going to be their end game.
Yeah, it's the Monster Mash.
Monster Squad.
Monster Squad. I thank you for bringing up Monster Squad, by the way. I had no idea that was a movie, and I have no idea if anybody else has seen it.
Probably not.
But thank you for bringing that up. Hey, speaking of movies that have never been seen by anybody,
Secret of
check
the
and
Seal.
see. Check and see if anyone's seen Secret of the Seal yet.
I don't think they have.
I don't know if seen it or has a review yet.
Let's see if Rotten Tomatoes has any reviews on it
Yeah,
yet.
just the year of movies nobody asked for.
Yes.
Oh.
You guys
boy.
remember when they put out Escape Room, that horror movie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I never watched
Yes.
it, but I was intrigued.
No, I saw the announcement and the trailer that you couldn't skip, on YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only way I ever see trailers.
Yeah.
And all I could think was, yeah, this is pretty topical. I can see this happening.
Yeah.
That somebody would make a movie about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I really want to see someone try and make a custom stage in Smash for the Cube.
Yeah, the
The
Cube! Now that's an escape room movie.
Yeah, it really is.
I think I remember it's been a long time since I've seen the first Cube movie. But
Cube, Cube 2, Cube 3, Hypercube.
No, I think it's Cube 2 Hypercube.
Oh, was it Cube 2 Hypercube?
Yeah, and then there was Cube 3.
Thank you.
Or it's Cube to the 3rd.
Cubed?
Cubed. How many
Yeah.
Cube movies have there been? I feel like
think-
there's been like
I'm gonna look
5
it
or
up. I'm gonna-
6.
I think it's just 3, isn't it?
Well, Jingles is
Alright,
going to let us
has
know.
anybody seen Secret of the Seal?
No, not a single person has ever seen Secret of the Seal.
I'm telling you, it's not real.
I didn't think so, but you never
It's
know.
not real, and neither are you.
Oh,
It's
It's that Mandela effect.
I've wondered. Yeah, am I from the other dimension?
you may be.
It's a 3-film series.
Just 3?
Cube.
3.
Okay.
Cube 2 Hypercube, and then Cube 0.
Okay.
Oh, Cube Zero. Cubed sounds like a missed opportunity.
I've seen
Yeah.
2 of the Cube movies. I can't honestly tell you which ones. I saw the one where it was in a dystopian future and it was like a punishment thing.
Yeah.
And then I saw the one where it was like a weird sort of like dimensional thing that you got stuck in.
I see. I think I saw the first one that you mentioned. because I remember one of the big cube rooms that they went into was this one that like shot out thin wires that attached to your limbs and essentially just spun them off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I remember because it happened to a character that I liked. That's my only way of being able to remember. Clone Wars had a sort of pseudo cube.
They had a cube episode.
They did have.
It also had Face Off, an
cube-
entire Face Off arc.
The face-off arc was actually good.
No,
There was a
Weirdly
face-off
enough.
arc and a cube episode. in the Clone Wars.
In Clone Wars. We won't tell you where they are. Watch it and
Watch
find
it.
out.
Yeah,
Just
Last
know that
season of
face-off
Clone
happens
Wars.
at some point.
Yeah.
Face Off.
I want to take his face off.
Off.
I could eat a peach for hours.
Because I remember Jingles. I remember you, and I remember Josh, like goading me as that's happening. I was like, "No, it's Face Off. It's Face Off." And then you both are like, "Look, see, they're putting a machine in his throat to
Yes.
change his voice."
To change his voice.
It's like, no, it's just Face Off.
Like now they got him, and now he's gonna go and try and he's going into the prison to try and find Castor Troy's brother.
I think the only thing it was missing was having a bounty hunter running around with Obi-Wan's face,
Yeah,
like killing people.
Yeah. Oh,
That's the
man.
only thing it was missing.
and Castor Troy.
Caster Draw. Guys, Face Off is a wild ride.
It sure is. Pie Man, do you care at all about BioWare?
What?
Do you
Yeah.
care about
How do you
BioWare
feel?
at all?
Oh, BioWare.
Have you and BioWare still been on talking terms?
Have you ever hung out with BioWare?
Yeah, I've hung out with BioWare. I played a lot of BioWare games. I mean, I kind of knew they were going to be going downhill when they got acquired. So
Right,
I
Fair
didn't-
enough, yeah.
And I wasn't super attached to them, so I kind of was like, okay, I can see the writing on the wall.
Where do you feel it? In between Mass Effect 2 and 3? Or even before that? Because, it was
I don't-
it was big popular to be upset
There-
at Mass
yeah.
Effect 3.
There is, like a lot of things, there isn't like a one specific point that I can point to and say this is where everything fell apart.
Yeah.
Dragon Age Inquisition.
That was a pretty...
It didn't help.
I actually know
No,
people
Dragon
who
Age 2.
who really like Dragon Age Inquisition.
It
Yeah.
won Game of the Year.
Yeah. I can say that...
Not that really means much.
Because
Because
I played a bit of Dragon Age 2. I could definitely say going from 2 to Inquisition felt better. But, it
Yeah.
wasn't Dragon Age 1.
I never played 2.
Don't play 2.
Okay.
I've
Don't play.
heard people say it's like the Devil May Cry 2 of the series.
Oh, so you just shoot everything?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, guys, Devil May Cry 2.
You completed that game for some reason.
I did.
Did you like the demon helicopters? Did you like the demon tanks?
It's so boring.
Did you like shooting everything all the time forever?
I'm happy I went from Devil May Cry 1.
Did you like not having combos?
Guys, they're all the same button. They're all the same combo.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. I somehow got an S rank every once in a while.
But yeah, that's when you used your gun more often.
That's right. Holy cow. But yes, you do not need to play Dragon Age 2.
Okay, I won't play Dragon Age 2.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I wasn't going to play any Dragon Ages ever, so...
All right, fair enough.
I played the first one, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I've tried playing that game. I can't.
fair enough.
It's kind of, I feel like it's a lot like the first Witcher game, where
Yeah.
it's just kind of wonky and strange.
Yeah.
And I did try playing the first Witcher game, and I still couldn't.
Yep.
It's so weird. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to get used to.
Mm.
None of the gameplay makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is to my shame or anything, but I just went straight to Witcher 3.
That's all right.
I played it,
Fine.
and I went through it. I had a blast.
I'd say Witcher
How
2.
dare you.
I did play Witcher 2. Witcher 2 holds up well enough to come back to it. even
Really?
though it's
Yeah, go
still-
ahead. I say
Yeah.
you should try Witcher 2. I mean, it'll give you more context, I guess. For,
Okay.
Not that you need it, because you know what happened.
More
Yeah.
like Witcher poo.
But yeah, you don't have to play the first game.
Yeah,
It's-
like 2 holds up well enough to play, but you're fine starting with 3.
Yeah.
the first one is so janky that like only play it if you're really curious.
I go Witcher 3 is the only one I haven't played yet.
Whoa,
Well,
I
you
didn't
better
know
make
that.
some
Really?
time.
I've
and
not-
you better
I've-
make a lot of time.
But
Yeah.
but it's one of those games that I've had so much exposure to from multiple sources that I more or less get the gist of it.
Okay. Yeah.
You've seen so many people talk about it and show you the game that you've essentially seen it all now.
Essentially.
See, that's why I don't need to play video games anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I still would find a lot of value in playing it, but sometimes, like, I don't want to... Sometimes I'm not in the mood to sit down with a 200-hour game.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
that's what happens, man.
You have
Fair
commitment issues.
I also-
Sometimes I'd rather devote... Like, if I'm going to devote those 200 hours to something, I want to be careful what I devote them to.
Yeah, you're going to do it in Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
There you go. Hey, he actually replayed through Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And
He did.
yeah, and I thanks to that, I've had more exposure to Final Fantasy VII than I ever have.
Yeah.
That was... Really?
Yeah,
I've
we never
never
only
played
this
your-
one.
Well, your guys' exposure was Advent Children and all the other weird stuff that came after.
Yeah. My exposure to Final Fantasy VII was playing Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
So you know that Cloud and Sephiroth exist.
Yes.
And I know that
No,
Cloud
Leon's in
is
it too.
moody.
Leon isn't even in 7.
Well,
Yeah, yeah,
Leon's
eight.
8.
I'm just picking all the other Final Fantasy characters.
Right.
Yeah, I get what you're laying down.
Okay.
Because they said he said that his first exposure to Final Fantasy
Oh.
Yeah.
in general was
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts.
Was Kingdom Hearts.
Actually, I knew a guy that really liked Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
And he was a good friend of mine
Yeah.
in school.
Yeah. He really liked what was it, Irving?
Yeah.
He liked Irving.
It was
Yeah.
one of the characters. On there.
Yeah.
But yeah, 8 isn't even like
Skull.
that bad. It's mostly just from a mechanical standpoint. It's really bloated and convoluted, but it's still otherwise like not terrible.
I believe that.
You told me you hated that game.
You hated Final
You-
Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, you made me say because you wouldn't accept any other answer.
That's correct. I don't accept anything else. You either love it or you absolutely loathe it and think it's a stain on the underwear of Final Fantasy.
Remember, we can only rate things in 0s and 10s.
That's
we don't
right.
have, we're all out of numbers.
We're all out
That's
of any
right.
of
There's
other
nothing in between.
any of the other numbers.
He told you straight up that he holds Final Fantasy VIII in the same rank as Final Fantasy X-2.
Yeah, 10-2. Some people like that game.
I'm willing to give it a try.
Yeah.
To go back and give it
Ten-
another try.
Yeah, 10-2 isn't horrible either. It's just weird.
I thought it was fun enough from a gameplay standpoint, but it's a game that didn't need to exist.
No.
I
Absolutely.
like the girls.
Yo,
That being said, though,
Yeah,
it did,
that was kind of the
that
selling
being
point.
said, though, it did lead to us getting the book where Tidus blows himself up with a mine.
that's
that was
right.
fun.
Kicking a blitzball.
Yeah, he kicks what he thinks is a blitzball. Turns out it's a bomb, and he gets blown to pieces.
And that's how their new adventure starts.
yeah,
In Final Fantasy X-3.
and unfortunately, they're probably never going to bring that book over to the West.
Which is too
I don't
bad.
think they need to.
Do you really want it enough for them to?
That's a good question. I don't know. If you saw it on the shelf, would you be all like, I need that?
I'd probably pick it up.
Well, he'd think, hey, this is the book where Titus blows himself up.
And like the book describes his like severed head rolling towards like Yuna in like shock.
Oh.
Well, because he gets blown up into bits and his head
But
lands.
this wasn't a Final Fantasy book?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to take place after 10-2.
Yeah.
It seems kind of... Okay.
Yeah. Needlessly grim?
Yeah. That's the only thing I know about that book. I don't know what happens after.
Now I want this book too. Japan, gimme!
Japan, give us the book, please.
Give us the exploding Titus.
I need to read about
What
Titus blowing
What if that
himself
was
up.
his like super in Dissidia?
No,
NT?
shut up.
He blows himself
No,
up.
it's
It's like melee range attack. He kicks the thing. It's a one-hit kill if it hits you, but it also kills you.
Like when Android 16
Yeah.
blows himself up.
I always
Yep.
thought Titus's super was that he just didn't exist.
Yeah.
He vanishes.
Yeah, you fight with him and you find out at the end of the match he wasn't real.
Yeah, right?
Did he ever exist?
No, he wasn't real. That's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Well, I know, like, Xanarkin, that wasn't real.
Final Fantasy...
But
The
Jecht
end of-
was real.
The end of Final Fantasy X-2 makes it that Titus can exist.
Yeah.
I really need to just play those games.
Well, you started 10 and you stopped.
I did, and that's because I got preoccupied.
I wish
fine.
the best
With a
friends
bunch of
I
other-
played
think it might have actually been The Witcher that did it.
Yeah, I think
was
so.
The Witcher.
I think so. The
Well,
Witcher 3.
Good on you there. If there was something
Yeah.
to get distracted by, that's it.
Yeah,
If
you
there
know,
was
I really can't blame you.
If there was something
Even
to
though
get,
he like 10.
if there was something to get lost in, it was Geralt's eyes.
We
Yeah.
got bad ending.
I did get bad ending.
You got the bad ending?
I did.
Oh well.
We don't know how to get good ending.
I found out. I looked it up, and it was. I can totally see the logic of what it was. I just completely missed it.
So is there any way
Was
to
it
go
because you didn't have the fully upgraded cat Witcher armor?
No, it's all about how you handle your relationship with Ciri. It's all about. Here's the crazy thing about it, and I think it's really cool. It's all about how much of a father you are to her, and this Witcher in particular is all about raising her to the point where you can send her out into the world. The dialogue options and the relationship options I made for Geralt were that he was I made it that he didn't want to really let her go, and that he wanted them to be a family. And that's what I wanted as a player. I was like, oh, I want them to be a family, because now Yennefer is there, she's part of the family, and now Ciri's there, and I want them to all be a family, and that's what I want.
They can have that paradise that they lost.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I wanted for them. And then I found out that was the wrong choice, because at the end of the game, Ciri ends up doubting herself when she has to save the world. She saves the world, but she dies in the process. Right. And Geralt is miserable for the rest of his life because of that.
More miserable than he usually is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually a pretty cheery guy. He just sounds miserable.
Yeah.
You know, considering that you got kidnapped when you were a child and experimented on by an evil wizard, and now you're a mutant monster hunter freak dude that no one likes, you're a pretty cheery dude.
Yeah.
He
I typically make him choose either the playful dialogue options or the sarcastic dialogue options. And so to me, my playthrough was like Geralt was just having a lot of fun throughout. But yeah, and those were and there are key moments where you have the choice to encourage Ciri to believe in herself.
I should
and seize her
specify
own
that's
destiny.
not really the bad ending.
It's the worst out of. Well, I would say, yeah. It's definitely the saddest you could get out of 3.
I mean, the thing about The Witcher is, like, when it comes to the relationships between the characters, it's always
So layered.
Yeah, it's always you just kind of have to go with it. You
Yes.
kind of have to make a decision.
Yes.
And just choose,
Yes.
because there isn't a best way to do things.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has their own preferences, obviously.
Yeah. I agree. And I believe I can't remember what the third ending is. The sort of where you could consider maybe a middling sort of ending, but the ending in retrospect that I think my next playthrough I think I would want to have for Ciri is that she comes back, she saves the world because she believed in herself, and when she comes back, she is crowned Empress. And she decides to finally seize her destiny and actually look after her people, and it breaks Geralt's heart.
Boo, Nilfgaard. Nilfgaard forever.
No, Nilfgaard. But she can change Nilfgaard for the better.
No, Nilfgaard as it is.
No.
The only good Nilfgaardian is a dead Nilfgaardian.
I just like the idea of boo, Nilfgaard is bad. Okay, well, let's change Nilfgaard. No, boo, leave Nilfgaard the same.
Just leave it, though. No, shut up.
I had a blast. It was I think it's still a really good game. Yes, it has some of the open world, air quotes, jankiness to it, but Roach never betrayed me.
That's right.
I totally got wherever it is that I couldn't take Roach. And I never try to push him up a sheer cliff.
Okay, so here's a question for you.
Yes.
Roach or D-Horse?
Don't make me choose that.
Well,
I'm going to say D-Horse.
He's always going to say
Really?
D-Horse.
That's true.
Not Roach when he there's that side quest where he literally talks to you.
You don't understand. It's not an objective thing to him.
No.
No.
I knew it wasn't.
You can't ask him to betray his
You can
Lord
make-
and Master Kojima.
You can make D-Horse poo-poo on command.
Actually, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, you can tell D-Horse to poop on you and make you dirty and stinky.
Yep.
D-Horse has some of the as you're controlling a horse. D-Horse so far has felt like the best horse to control. Like better than Epona.
Yeah, no, it's good horse riding.
Like it's a fantastic horse riding. The way that they incorporate the light rumble to it, and you could sort of actually feel.
Ironically,
movement.
better horse riding than Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, and then the thing that throws me off about Red Dead Redemption is that there's too much to it.
Yeah.
D-Horse feels. How do I
D-Horse
describe
feels like a car in the best ways.
in the best sort of way? I guess so. Yeah, D-Horse feels like, I guess, just solid mechanically, and the Red Dead horse that you can have always feels like you're on the verge of getting thrown off this thing.
Yeah.
Like you could never fully trust this horse.
In 2?
Yes, sorry,
Yeah.
in 2.
Because in 1, they're wonderful and great, and I love them.
Yeah.
And I agree.
I have a lot of problems with Red Dead 2.
They spent too much time focusing on the ball sack.
I think so.
That's what happened, man.
Yep.
It's too much happened there.
Um,
Horse genitals.
but yeah, D-Horse feels really solid. And yeah, you can command D-Horse to go places. You can command him to come to you. You can command him to poo-poo on the spot or poo-poo on a guard.
And then you can get in the poop and roll in it.
Yep.
You can roll in
They have some, and even dismounting and mounting D-Horse feels really solid because depending on how fast you're going, you can almost launch yourself into a combat-ready situation and get out of there as quick as you can. Because you could do a full sprint and do a running mount with D-Horse.
I was gonna say, I remember this, and I can't remember if this was actually in Metal Gear Solid 5 or if I'm thinking of a different game, but I kind of remember calling D-Horse, having him run at me, and then as he runs past, I did one of those, like, hook the reins and swing up on.
I feel like you can do something really close because you can run, you can do a full sprint and call D-Horse to you, and he will run and run with you until you're ready to actually mount.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun. It was like,
It's
yeah,
awesome.
Snake's quite the equestrian.
He is. He is. Thanks to the boss.
the boss.
The boss.
Boss!
No, wait. This is Kiefer Sutherland, so it's boss.
Boss.
When you unzipped your jumpsuit. No, wait, that's Big Boss.
Chico.
As he's eating the ashes.
I will not cast your ashes to the heartless sea.
I gotta find the clip of Senile Snake doing his impression of Kiefer Sutherland's Big Boss.
Senile Snake.
Yeah, he's part of the Unexpectables.
Oh, nice.
He does a lot of voice acting stuff. But he's all like, this is my Big Boss when he's like drunk and like exhausted. And he's just all like, cause I was getting but he sounds just like Kiefer doing it. That's the best. It's one of the funniest things. It's gonna take me forever to find it because it's in one of the episodes of The Unexpectables.
I've said this before, and I'll say this again. MGS5 has some of, if not the best moment-to-moment gameplay in any Metal Gear Solid game.
Gameplay is really good.
If I could Frankenstein the perfect Metal Gear Solid game together, I would have the open maps and the tight controls and the buddy system variety of MGS5. I would have the base building of Peace Walker. I would bring back the camo index.
How could you?
I would bring back the full-on survival elements of 3, and I would have the music of Metal Gear Solid. No, well, Harry Gregson Wills, obviously. Will.i.am's. I would have the music of 1.
What elements would you take from
That's
4?
not Harry.
4? I would take the
B&B unit.
yeah, right.
Yeah, no, what element would you take from 4?
I would take.
Would you take the 45-minute cutscenes?
Hold on,
You
there are
wish
good
there
things
were
about
45
4.
minutes. It's like an hour and a half.
You know what? I would take the CQC from.
Oh, the old man
From
fight
4.
at the end. Okay.
No.
Oh, when it
like
becomes
the
Tekken?
the actual CQC mechanics of the actual gameplay, because that was varied. Like you could do a lot of stuff with that CQC. Not to say that the CQC now is like terrible or anything, but there were a ton of options of what you could do.
You could sweep the leg.
You could do so much. You could roll a guy. You could throw him over your shoulder. You could slam one guy into another guy. That being said, Peace Walker did give us the ability to chain CQC.
Yeah.
If you do a real quick sequence of CQC and slam a guy into the ground, you could just turn around and slam another guy, and just keep that going until there are no more guys.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like Arkham.
It's like
The
if,
Arkham game.
Is it like
I was
if
gonna
you
say Arkham did that.
took the Snake's first fight with the Ocelot unit in the Virtuous mission, but then made that into gameplay?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. If you were that deep with it, yeah. Yeah, I would just... That's my perfect sort of Frankenstein's monster of a Metal Gear Solid game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think... I mean, I went back and I replayed through MGS1 recently. And I just had a blast. I loved every moment of it.
It's a good game.
Yeah. And I'll probably end up going through all the other games again because that's what I do. Because I love them.
They're good games.
Yeah. On a whole, yeah. Good games.
Yeah.
That's what I'm essentially working with. Where do you... We keep trying to come back to this. Where do you feel about the 3Bs now? Obviously, they've let you down.
I wanted to bring it back, but
I'm trying.
I want to
yeah.
let you guys talk about things you want to talk about.
And I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, forget all the subjects. Nobody cares.
I was just gonna try and put a cap in it so that I didn't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah,
Just
sorry.
be like, we all think it's poopy. Done.
Yeah.
I thought we pretty much.
Yeah.
So all the problems with the 3Bs
Yes.
are just the same problems that the entire games industry and really, honestly, the entire entertainment industry as a whole is experiencing.
Right on.
All the same stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get bigger. They get more diluted.
Well, it's not diluted. It's just that, you are beholden to the investors. If you want to do anything, you got to have the money.
Agreed.
To get the money, the investors have to want to give you money. And they only want to give you money if they think you'll make them a lot of money.
Agreed.
Right.
So, it's all the money.
Yes. It's all money.
Money poisons everything, unfortunately.
Recess the show...
Reset.
It had an amazing episode about that.
Yeah.
About the
I can
dangers
see
of
that, yeah.
capitalism.
They
So
did.
hopefully I can recount what happened. I'm probably going to miss out on a lot of details, but whatever. We'll take care of that later. So, TJ and the gang, they find out... TJ comes to school one day, and he finds out that all the kids... are charging with these monster cards. And we could say that just like it's a replacement for Pokemon.
Yes.
So everybody charges, like everything on the playground runs on monster cards. And that's the economy that they're working with. So TJ, he ends up thinking, well, I need a slice of the pie because I need to be able to to get myself water from the water fountain if I need to get a drink. So he ends up getting a loan from one of his friends. They're like, here's 4 monster cards. Monster stickers. 4 monster stickers to get you started. And he does that, and he starts a shoe shining business. No. A door watching business.
Door watching business.
Where he stands in front of a door and just watches the people come in, and he charges them, to show up to King Bob. So that he can get his pay, and TJ takes a small cut. So the first thing he does is, hey kid, you want to watch this door for me for 3 Mon stickers? And the kid's all like, yeah, 3 Mon stickers. Turns out TJ's running a profit there. Like, he's turning a profit on the kid because with his cut and that kid making him Mon stickers, he's making more than he would from King Bob and the kid. And so it's all about him gaming the system and getting more people to work for him.
It's a Tom Sawyer thing.
Basically.
Yeah.
And he accepted, there's like, the only bit of trickery is that he's just getting kids to do extra. Yeah, he's making his business grow as fast as he can. And at about the midway point, he ends up having more Mon stickers than any of the other kids on the playground.
Oh, yeah.
And so he
He's
charges
loaded.
them for everything. There is a standing around fee. There is a playing with the balls fee. There's everything that he can think of he charges them for. And so none of the kids just go outside anymore. Mm-hmm. And so he has all the Mon stickers, and he just sits up on King Bob's throne now, just enjoying his wealth of Mon stickers. And that's when, like, his calculus and, like, his little nerdy analyst friends come along and they explain, like, yeah, sir, you don't have any other income coming in. There's no way to sustain this. And he's all like, no, more Mon stickers! And he ends up gripping the rest of the playground so hard that his usual gang of friends are all like, what do we do? TJ's become a monster. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, there's only one thing we can do. We're gonna have to break this economy. And so they introduced hero coins. And it completely destroys everything TJ was working on, because now the kids only trade. The kids are all about hero coins now.
Yeah, the fad for Mon stickers just passed, and they found something else to get excited about.
I loved the fad episodes of kids shows.
Yeah, right.
Like,
and because it's always about, like, you know, the very next day, fad's over. We're all about new stuff.
You remember Arthur and the Moogles?
No.
that was their fad episode.
Fad episodes.
They were all about the Moogles?
Yeah, it was these toys called Moogles, and they were like they're weird. They were like little blob shapes with faces on them,
right?
And they were stretchy and bouncy and stuff, and everybody collected
right.
them.
And then they got C&D'd by Squaresoft.
That sounds about right.
That sounds right.
Gosh, Recess did a lot of really interesting episodes.
Yep.
You remember when they had to help Hustler Kid get his hustle back?
Yep.
Because I can't even remember what led to the problem, but like something happened to Hustler Kid couldn't hustle anymore on the playground.
You can't hustle no more.
And
couldn't hustle, man.
And was it like another kid came into the neighborhood and he was all like, "I'm the new Hustler Kid now."
I can't remember exactly, but I think it was another kid with more reasonable prices.
Yeah, and so Hustler Kid. By the way, Hustler Kid would make you pay fist over dollar in order to get anything from him.
No, he was reasonable.
Was he?
Yeah, it was just another guy was like, he was able to charge less. I think he had like a direct, like wholesale
from the Wingerdingers.
From the Wingerdingers.
Wholesale Wingerdingers? That's cheap.
I think like his dad or his uncle worked at the factory or something, and so he had like a ton of Wingerdingers.
His uncle that works at Nintendo.
Yeah.
His uncle that works. It would be more like his uncle that works at Hershey's.
Yeah.
But that's pretty apt as well. So, Hustler Kid out of business. He just becomes Kid.
Yeah,
he's just Kid. Like he tells all the other kids, "There's like, I'm not Hustler Kid anymore." And for a good chunk of the episode, he just hangs out on the steps of the playground, and then eventually they have to convince him to pick up the hustle one more time because that kid being there, it turns out he's like a huge jerk or something, and so Hustler Kid comes back, better prices, a greater variety of stuff, and they help him work his hustle again.
And all the kids on the playground have a newfound respect for that hustle.
For that hustle.
Yo, I respect that hustle.
They had a Dungeons and Dragons episode.
Lizzie McGuire had a Dungeons and Dragons episode.
Did it?
Yeah.
No, let me specify. it wasn't even about the dangers, air quotes, dangers of Dungeons and Dragons. TJ discovered Dungeons and Dragons, and he loved it. And it was about how great that was. Tell me about Lizzie McGuire, though.
Oh, it was...
Was it about the dangers?
Not, I mean, sort of, but not really. It wasn't. It didn't paint the game itself as being dangerous or bad. It was just that it was Lizzie got a gift from her grandma for her birthday, and it was a board game called Dwarf Lord. And she was like, "Whatever,
all right.
I don't freaking want this." And she gives it to Gordo, and Gordo's like, "Okay, cool." And he gets super into Dwarf Lord, and he joins like a Dwarf Lord club, and he just becomes obsessed with the game, and so they have to like bring him back from the obsession.
That's good. I like that. I like the idea of Gordo being surrounded by these other nerds going, "Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and what's it called in Warhammer? Like challenge the witch or
Deny the witch.
I'm gonna go ahead and deny the witch." Okay, Gordo, go ahead. And all right, now I'm going to perform my attack roll, and then he shovels out all those dice.
They wore cloaks and everything when
That's
they played.
awesome.
And they had a cauldron that was full of like tea.
Yeah.
And then they would dip into the tea with their goblets and drink while they played.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that when we play Pathfinder?
Because we don't have a cauldron.
I'm sorry, we don't
Can we
own
get
a
a
witch
cauldron?
pot.
We need a witch pot. We need
Can
it
we
right
get
now.
a witch pot?
But in the Recess Dungeons and Dragons episode, what happens at the very beginning is that TJ, I can't remember what, I think he breaks his leg. And he ends up being in a cast and he can't go out and enjoy recess in the playground like all the other kids. So he stays inside, where the inside kids are.
The inside kid.
Which is just a group of like 4 or 5 nerds, and they're like, "Oh, hi, TJ," and they're led by their leader, Knarf.
Knarf.
As you find out, his real name is Frank.
Yes.
So he invites them to join them. Join them in the basement, where they go and they play Dungeons and Dragons. And at first, TJ's all like, "This is stupid." And they were like, "It's about using your imagination." And they use Dungeons and Dragons in that like they don't name drop it or anything.
What did they call it? Do you remember?
It was like Wizards and something.
Okay.
Yeah. That sounds right.
It's like wizards and goblins.
Something like that. But eventually TJ learns to love the role-playing part and actually loves the game. And so there's this wonderful part where Knarf, who's their dungeon master, by the way.
Of course.
He's telling, like, they're in the middle of this intense session, right? And you know how it goes, where Knarf is sitting there and he's like, "You finally find your way into the passage." He's like, "I boldly bolt forward, but careful, you find yourself in the middle of a green mist." And he's all like, "No!" And he's like, "Perform a reflex saving throw." And he's like, and it's an awesome session, right? And at the very end of it, TJ's leg finally gets better, and he ends up like going out into the playground. And the whole point of the episode was about TJ learning to appreciate these kids. But there's this moment where after he's back on the playground, he immediately starts thinking that he's too cool to hang with them. Because they're the nerds. Mm-hmm. And you should never hang out with the nerds.
Oh, yes. This was back when nerd culture was still weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
is Recess that old that it's before everything became cool?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. It was. And
are you asking if Recess was pre-mid 2000s?
Is that when it happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about then, yeah.
Yeah. It was 90s, I believe. But eventually TJ learns to stand up for them, stand up for himself, and he's like, "No, I like those kids." And so from that point forward, like every other recess or so, he would stay inside and he would play D&D with the nerds.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, and they finally went through the last wave of initiation by giving him his new nickname, JT.
Yes. I was waiting for that.
Yes. Because you find out that all the other kids, like in their little group of friends, all their nicknames are just their names but backwards.
Yeah, that's how you make it fantasy.
Yep. And because of that, Jingles and I discovered a phrase that we used for years afterwards as a greeting, and that's Gondor Primulon, Earthling.
Oh yes, Gondor Primulon. Man, I haven't.
That
thought
was
about
their
that in a
greeting
long
to
time.
each other because it was reference to
Gondor Primulon.
Gondor Primulon, Earthling, and that was their greeting to each other because it was a reference to the stand-in for Star Trek in their universe.
Their universe.
Yeah.
Gondor Primulon.
I loved it. I loved it. I
man,
thought
that's
it's one of
good.
my favorite episodes, and I should just watch it.
I
again.
kind of want to
We
start
should
saying
just watch
that
it again.
now.
Yeah,
Gondor
that's what
Primulon.
we've said to each other for years.
Gondor Primulon.
And it is an obscure reference.
It's pretty obscure.
Yeah, we might as well just be made it up ourselves. It's so obscure.
Yeah.
Unless somebody there that's like listening ends up knows about Recess in that episode.
It turns out everyone else in the world knows about
Yeah,
that.
everybody else. Oh, they were like, oh yeah, Gondor Primulon.
It turns out everyone has seen Secret of the Seal.
Exactly. Just nobody cares enough to write a review.
That's right.
So really quick, because we have been talking for a very long time, we need to put an ad break in or else I'll die.
Oh yeah, sure.
So
Let's
Oh,
go
yeah,
ahead.
you have to eat. I'm sorry.
that's right. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here, and then we're going to come back and maybe talk about other stuff, maybe talk about the same stuff. We'll see.
We'll
So,
catch you.
yeah, we'll catch you in just a second after these messages. So, Gondor Primulon, everyone.
Gondor Primulon.
Gondor Primulon.
It's good to see you again. It is I, Selgnez.
I still like Jinxels.
Jinxels is good.
With the X in it.
X in it.
I am Voigooks.
It is I, Foygooks. That's not a good
Guffa.
guffa. So yeah, I
Kinda
guess if we're just done talking with the video game industry for now.
I don't like talking about the video game industry.
We
Honestly,
like video games, not the industry.
honestly,
That's fair.
I was about to just talk more about Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons and stuff.
Okay. I mean, if you want to, I had that other things.
Oh,
that
sorry,
I wanted
yes.
to talk about.
You go ahead.
Unless you don't want to.
Pokemon cards.
Pokemon cards.
Pokemon cards.
Yeah, Pokemon cards. Hey, who else had that shiny limited edition Ancient Mew card?
Everyone who went to see the movie.
Yeah.
They also they had so many extras that they even gave you to Pokemon 2000 also.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's been 2,000 of these.
Yeah. Here's the 1 billionth card.
Oh man, I watched the Nostalgia Critic do the Pokemon movie, and I was just like,
Furious?
this guy clearly doesn't know anything about Pokemon. He does a lot of like things that he clearly knows nothing about, and then makes jokes about it. and
That's
I'm
his
just
whole
like,
career.
That's
That
his
is
whole career.
Yeah.
And that makes me think. There's been a lot of early YouTubers that were around for a while, with like became the biggest thing on YouTube for a long time, and then petered out and like kind of disappeared almost.
Tobuscus.
Tobuscus! I haven't heard from Tobuscus in forever.
That's true.
Violence.
That's a good point about like just YouTubers that were massive. I mean, Tazon Day still does stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a one-hit
Yeah,
wonder.
I was
I think
gonna
he's
say.
actually bigger than he was back in the day.
Yeah.
I like when he did. He sang the Skyrim theme.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That sounded pretty...
With his big
pretty-
booming voice.
Yeah, it was great.
Ah!
Yeah.
But I wanted to see and talk to you guys about, like, YouTubers that we really liked and enjoyed back in the day, and nowadays we're either, like, indifferent to or possibly even, like, don't even like that much anymore.
Game Grumps for me.
Game Grumps is definitely... they're just Ego Raptor in
mostly
general.
Aaron Hansen.
Mostly Aaron Hansen.
Grump and I'm not.
They're still kind of relevant, aren't they? Like, they're
Yes.
still kicking it around, or people just don't talk about them much.
No, they're still big, but personally,
Yeah,
like
we just don't care
I
about
just
them
don't-
anymore,
don't really
or they
care
upset.
about
them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they don't hear you ripping on them.
I'm not ripping. I'm just saying, like,
Okay.
my admiration has like completely died down. I still, honestly, and I've talked to.
Time to burn down a whole bunch of bridges.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I
right.
was talking with Smiter, and I've talked to Josh about it, but Like, honestly, I still actually have a lot of admiration for pretty much everybody on Game Grumps except for Aaron himself.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I'm the exact same way.
I mean,
I'm the exact same
you
way.
mean you still don't get a good guffaw out of "Careful, Cloud. Don't let the goodness pee in your veins."
No, I still get a...
It's
I
weird
get a
how
kick out
old
of-
that is.
It is weird
Oh,
how
man.
old that is.
I think for me, I don't really like their like LP content, but like I guess watching LPs in general has never really been kind of my thing. Like I've always preferred playing games. I do still really like their
10-minute power hour?
their live action content.
The live action content.
enough.
I feel like that's way better.
I've been watching 10
But-
Minute Power Hour, and that's
Yeah.
the only thing I watch on the channel.
Yeah.
Because they don't have Doodle Dudes no more.
Yeah.
They don't have Table Flip no more.
No.
No, they haven't
that's
had
been gone
Table
for a
Flip in
while.
Wow. Shows you how much I've been keeping up with them.
Yeah, you don't even like Game Grumps.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I really liked are not involved anymore, one way or another. Like Ross is working on other stuff.
JonTron left.
JonTron
early.
left forever
I was
ago.
gonna say, that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Way.
All the way from the West Coast under the Americas, all the way back up to New York.
Yeah, he went all the way across the country to get away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
He had to get away from that life.
He had to get out of that life.
under a new name and a new wife.
Have you been seeing JonTron's videos though?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the production values in those have just gone through the freaking roof.
They have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I legitimately still really like JonTron.
So piggybacking off what you were saying, I'm kind of the same mindset. Like I kind of like everybody else around Aaron.
Yeah.
I still occasionally listen to Danny and his songs.
Yeah.
Now Ninja Sex Party, and I like they still make me laugh, and I still like what they're putting.
No,
out.
NSP is great.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
NSP.
Yeah, they're pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I like
I've
Brian.
I've burnt out on Sexpa-Bomb.
You mean Starbomb.
Starbomb. Starbomb.
Are you all right?
Are you
I
okay?
wish they were called that.
Did you have a stroke?
I did.
That's what it looked like.
I
I
did.
really want them to be called Sexpa-Bomb now.
No, you don't, because Sexpa-Bomb is a reference to Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and that's actually good.
That's actually good.
No,
Sexpa-Bomb, the band in Scott Pilgrim versus the
no,
World?
I mean Scott Pilgrim. Is it?
yeah!
Some people like it.
Wait,
about
the
the
film or
film?
the comics?
Yeah, how about the film? What do you think of the film?
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was
Well,
okay.
people that like it say it's the greatest thing to ever exist.
Yeah.
The manga, I think, is pretty good.
Is it considered a manga?
Is it a?
It is a graphic novel.
Okay.
Well, is it just a comic?
No, it comes in Tonkabon format.
It does come in Tonkabon format.
Well,
But it's an
which
original English language
Okay,
Well, I
manga.
mean,
so
are we-
Tonkabon format to everyone else is called a trade paperback.
I was gonna say
I
because
don't know what that means.
like the difference between comic and manga, just like the difference between anime and cartoon, is whether or not it's made like in Japan, or whether it's Japanese made.
It comes in like this. Not like big comic books. Not like the big ones. It comes like small like this.
Well, American trade paperbacks can come like that too.
They don't though. Not usually.
Not always, but they can.
Well, of course they can.
Like I feel like I just feel like the bigger difference between the two is whether or not it's like Japanese made.
There's an argument to can be
I
made
think this
there.
is something that's going to make me hang myself, so let's move on.
Yeah, good point. Let's move on, because I'm already, I was just sitting there just stewing way too much about it.
We don't know what Scott Pilgrim is.
I don't understand the world. Help.
Oh, gosh.
He's Canadian. That's all we know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I mixed up.
Okay,
I
it's the
mixed
Canada
up.
stuff.
I mixed up.
Starbomb
with
Yeah.
Sexpa-Bomb. Yeah, I fell off with Starbomb.
Yeah,
I
me
like
too.
that. I like
Yeah.
that first CD, and the second CD just almost feels Carbon Datum the exact same.
Oh, I feel like
It's
even going.
not even as good.
Well, I feel like even going back to the first like Starbomb album, it's just I feel like I've just moved on.
I
Fair
still
point.
really like the first Starbomb album.
It still has more quality to it than like the other two or the other like Starbomb albums that came out afterwards.
Right.
The other ones that came out afterwards were just not good.
Yeah.
But like even going back to the first Starbomb album, it's just kind of just feels kind of cringy going back
Danny
to it now.
goes back and he sings really good, and then Aaron screams into the mic.
Yeah, it's mostly...
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's mostly just Aaron screaming, even though he has an actually talented vocalist on hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But no, he insists on...
It's just another one of those things where, like, Aaron just kind of
brings it down a little bit for me.
Oh, that's too bad.
I'm gonna...
I've heard songs from the third album, and they're fine. A lot of them are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, the second album, almost all of them I don't like.
I kind of feel bad for bringing the... I feel kind of sad bringing this up, but, I mean, it's relevant to the conversation. I used to really like the Super Best Friends.
Why would you bring that up? The wound is still fresh.
Yeah.
The wound still hurts. It's been a year, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, it has been a year.
That's fallen off.
I feel like it's been
hard.
way longer.
Yeah.
It's
It
been
feels like it should
it's
be a lot
been
longer.
December. It's been a year as of December, so
Yeah.
it's been a year and a couple
Wow.
months.
Yeah.
That one hurts a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
I want to preface this because, like, these are situations where, like, I'm not mad at these people. I'm not mad at
Except
Game
for Aaron
Grumps.
Hansen.
I'm not even mad at Aaron Hansen.
No,
I'm not mad at these people that we're going to be talking about. Well, that I'm specifically talking about.
It's about enjoying their content.
I'm more just kind of sad because of what I knew once was, and what could have been and is not anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
None of this is meant to be a personal attack on anyone. This is just content we've fallen off of and just don't enjoy anymore because we've moved on to other things.
yeah.
Or they've moved
Or
on.
they've moved
Or
on.
they
That's actually more of the more of the actual
Or they've
thing.
moved on to other things and they moved on to something that's not for us. So
Maybe
look
we should
elsewhere.
take a leaf out of their book and move on ourselves.
Why don't we take ourselves?
Well,
and move on.
thank you for attending our last episode of the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna break up.
We're gonna go and curse each other's names off into the
You
wind.
see, Jingles and I gotta be honest with you. Jingles and I
Do it. Do
are
the
no
bit.
longer friends.
Oh,
Gotta be honest with you.
it'll be cool because it'll be like a divorce where you get multiple Christmas presents from your different dads. Get out of here, Pat.
That is not what has happened.
Nope.
It's more like I get now no Christmases because
Yeah.
none of my dads love me anymore.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It's like you ask for a gift and like an empty whiskey bottle flies past your head.
Yeah.
That's right.
He hands you a half-empty carton of cigarettes.
So,
Here
like,
you go, kid.
especially like close to the ending of Super Best Friends play,
Yeah.
when the signs were all there
Yeah.
and we all just kind of didn't want to believe it, there was like very clear like this isn't as fun or good as it used to be. And it's like I didn't notice it until after they had broken up and I've been watching their current content that's been coming out. I don't really watch Pat's stuff hardly at all.
Except to notice how dumb his girlfriend is.
I love Paige.
I'm kidding.
I would never say anything mean about Peach Saliva.
You mean Bababa?
Baba. No, that's hard. It's a hard game.
It's a hard game.
But if
I
Baba ceases
specifically
to be,
enjoy Peach Saliva.
I love her.
That's a good pick.
And I love when Pat's there to be her foil.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah.
I pretty much don't watch anything Wooly does.
Yeah. Apparently, he just released a cover with Little V.
Yeah, I saw that.
did, yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna watch that. I probably will
I'll
watch
check it out because I like Little V.
I love
Yeah.
Little V.
He looks
and
like
we
a guy
got
that
Little
we
V
know.
dressed up as
He
Sonic
does.
and him dressed up as Knuckles, so I
Yeah.
want to see what that's about.
The Knuckles. He
It's
also
Wool-
did Can You Feel the Sunshine? I gotta watch that.
Oh, nice.
I don't watch a whole lot of what Matt does. I don't watch his LPs, but I will watch Crime Tina critiques and I will watch what happened
Yeah.
because I learned things there.
Yeah.
Matt's
What
audience has really grown a lot.
It
though.
has.
Like,
Yeah.
he's
He
been
actually is
working
probably
really hard.
doing the best out of like the 4 that have split up.
Probably, but we don't. We can see how much money Matt's making because he has a Patreon. The other 3 don't.
And
Yeah.
even then, that's just what he's making off of Patreon, isn't it? Who knows
Yeah.
what he's making off of like other stuff?
What he's making off of his wife.
Yeah.
Hey!
She could be a breadwinner. I don't know.
She looks like a breadwinner.
And I know that occasionally you'll go and you'll watch Liam's streams.
Yeah, I don't look at Liam's stuff very often
Is
because
the
his
Azure
videos are
Dream
like
still streaming?
he still streams.
He still streams consistently.
The Rising Superstar,
Yeah.
The Unseenable?
the Unseenable. Oh man, that's such a good. He legitimately loves John Cena,
Yeah.
unironically, and
I keep.
yeah, I'll occasionally he'll do a thing and I'll watch what he's doing. I like seeing his reactions a lot. His gameplay videos are really really long, and I don't have time to like.
Sure.
They're really
watch
long, and unfortunately, I feel like they're kind of boring.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I think he's hilarious and
It's
really
like
entertaining.
It's like visual enough that I can't listen to it at work, but too long for me to want to sit down at home with it.
Yeah. I really liked Liam when he was there to supplement the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be like the straight men to their like
Yeah.
Yeah.
big dumb idiot men.
Yeah.
Part
of me feels.
I legitimately I'm gonna look it up right now. I made
There's one
a
thing I've learned,
Reddit
and that's
post.
if a YouTuber says, "Hey, I'm gonna take a sabbatical," it means they're gonna quit in a month.
that's clearly what
It
that
means they're gonna
means.
come back and say, "Okay, I've decided I'm gonna quit," because they're not, they're not having a good time.
I feel like
Right.
I also feel like you could replace that also with a started LP of Kingdom Hearts. That's as good as a sabbatical.
Starting an
Feels like
LP
a
of Kingdom
sabbatical.
Hearts basically doomed your channel.
Yeah.
Gosh. And I'm remembering. Pyman was the one that introduced us to the Super Best Friends.
Yeah.
I mean.
I caught them when they first got their Machinima show, and
That's
then
right, yeah.
very soon after I went and checked out their main channel, which was just Matt's channel at that point.
The Switcher, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think at that point they had 2 LPs. They had the Silent Hill 2, or what was it 2? It was one of the Silent Hill games.
It was.
Right.
I think it was Downpour.
Resident Evil 2,
Okay.
where I think was all they had up at that point.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember.
They
Where
soon
you
out-
jokingly broke down the premise for Jingles and I when you were first telling us about it. It was like,
Yeah.
they're best friends, but they hate each other.
Yeah,
Yes.
they call themselves the best friends, but they like hate each other or something.
Yeah.
And now they just hate each
No,
other.
they just hate each other.
That's
Do they actually hate each other? I don't know.
you know,
I don't want to speculate too much. I just want to put out that each time a breakup happened, Pat was usually the common denominator.
You know what? I'm gonna back that up.
I'm not gonna say how one-sided that is. There's always more to it than just that, but he was always involved somehow.
I don't know. Whenever stuff like this happens, everybody starts to speculate over
No,
things.
yeah.
So
it's-
I always just
yeah.
step back.
Yeah.
That's why I want to say, yeah, like
Yeah.
it's always way more complicated than just that. It's just that he was always there.
Yeah.
It's suspicious.
Yeah.
He's always at the scene
And
of
the
the
fact
crime.
that they outright said, yeah, like Matt and Pat are no longer friends, and then Liam also coming out of the woodwork saying like Pat was 100% why he left too.
Yeah.
Oh no!
He
really?
actually did confirm that on Twitter.
I don't.
after they broke
I
up.
don't want to hear any of this. I don't.
Okay.
I don't want
Okay.
it to
You're right. You're right. You're right.
I just dropped everything.
Yeah.
I haven't watched anything any of them have done.
Right.
Not that I hate them or
Yeah.
dislike
Yes.
them or anything like
Again, not a personal attack
Yeah.
on anyone.
that. It's
No.
just that I was hurt
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I couldn't deal with it, and so
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm just
And
gonna
I've
step
had
away.
and I've had to recently kind of drop all of that at this point too, as much as I can. I still go to the subreddit because I still feel like the best friends subreddit is like peak Reddit.
The subreddit
best.
has maintained quite the community.
Yeah,
in-
Right?
I feel like the best friends subreddit is like the peak of like what Reddit could be.
what it should be.
Or what it should be.
Yeah.
But
I love how positive everyone is all the time.
yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
it is.
That's
it's
awesome.
Actually, it's actually a super positive community. It's
Yeah,
really great.
people like in threads there. People don't like rip on each other like seriously.
Nice.
You know, or people aren't generally mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for where I fell off was like it just wasn't fun listening to two people be angry and scream at people for their opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
a big thing
that's
that-
just not fun.
That's just kind of what was going on there.
Wait, isn't that what we're doing right now?
Hold on.
No, but there's 4 of us.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Therefore, we're balanced.
There you go. As all things should be.
That's all things should be.
So I have a little post here
Yes.
that I want to share with you guys. I wrote this 3 years ago and put it in a best friends subreddit. It's simply titled, "How do the best friends do it?" And it goes something like this. I wrote all this. I wrote, "I've been thinking quite a bit recently about YouTube peeps lately, and I've noticed something about myself. There will be channels that I come across that I find funny and entertaining, but after about a year of subscribing, their shtick loses its appeal, and some even become annoying to me. One of the very few exceptions are the best friends. I've been watching these bozos for about 4 years, and they still make me laugh, and I enjoy myself like I did when I first started. I have to wonder to myself, how do they do it? What is it that they do, and I don't want to name names and point fingers, other YouTubers can't seem to do? That's one of the biggest reasons they're my most favorite channel on YouTube."
Wow.
It was a question that I proposed 3 years ago.
Wow.
2 years before they,
Yeah.
Wow.
broke
They
up.
detonated.
They
Wow.
terminated. And
Sorry, I'm just chewing on that.
like
Yeah.
up until the end, man, that was my general feeling about the channel.
Yeah.
I was the biggest fan. I wanted to someday be a guest on their podcast.
You had dreams.
I had
Yeah.
dreams, man.
Everybody's got
literally-
dreams.
I literally had
Yeah.
dreams of like being popular enough to just hang out with them like one time.
I feel like, to be fair, though, being on Castle Super Beast is going to be a different game than being on the Super Best Friend cast.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Man,
I mean-
those were your dreams. Cringe, dude. Cringe.
Yeah, right. Oh no, you posted cringe. You're going to lose the subscribers.
Those are the subscribers. I had 179 upvotes on that
Uh-oh,
post.
cringe.
Oh, cringe.
And a lot of people were talking about like, well, I
Yeah.
think it's probably this, and their dynamics great, and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
A big thing for me was always like they just wanted to do their own thing and not try to like mass appeal to people.
Yeah.
And like there was a post on the subreddit I think a few days ago that described them as the most well-known YouTube channel that nobody knows about.
That's pretty accurate.
It's like
Yeah.
the people that know about it love it and were like big fans of it, and those
Yeah.
that didn't, like, just didn't know.
Yeah.
And so that's why like there's so many references to them in a whole bunch of different stuff. There's some guy that like I don't know what game it was. I think it's some sort of mobile game. And they had like a pirate queen like character,
Yeah.
and in the background there was 3 pirate skeletons that were lugging stuff around.
Yeah.
And they kind of sort of looked like
Matt Pat and Wooly.
Matt, Pat, and Wooly.
Yeah.
Well, they're also just in the background of Skullgirls in that one stage, too.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, they
Matt and
paid
Wooly,
money for
they
that
helped
one.
fund
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They helped fund that game.
That one might be my favorite just because it's them picking up money begrudgingly.
Yeah.
This money that we threw everywhere.
I thought they were laying down bets.
Yeah, I thought they were laying down bets.
I need to go back and check it out.
Somebody else made a different video of them picking the money back up because of the
Yeah.
the trailer video that they
For
made
crime time.
for
Yeah.
crime time when there was Skullgirl. They were throwing money all over the place, and so somebody drew them like
Yeah,
picking the money
slowly.
back.
There were also Matt and Wooly in that issue of Punisher.
Yes, that issue. of
That's
Punisher.
not a real thing, but that's a good joke.
They do look. It does look a
They
lot
look
like Matt and Wooly.
scarily like them.
They do.
It's uncanny.
It's a really good Punisher.
Yeah.
It's a really good Punisher issue.
But yeah, man, I love those
Yeah.
guys. Like,
Yeah, they
Hardcore.
they are the only Let's Play channel I've ever watched.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough.
And
I'm not really a fan of Let's Plays.
Yeah.
So-
Honestly, I'm just really like
Yeah.
sad as to where it is now.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
it used to be.
Oh well, things change. You got to move on someday, I
Yeah.
guess.
I'm never moving on. How dare you?
I know how you feel though.
But I feel like as far as channels that I've kind of fallen off of / just don't even really like much anymore.
You mentioned Jazza, and
Yeah, well, let me finish my sentence.
sorry,
I'll
I'm
choke
sorry.
you.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Why don't you finish his jokes?
Here you go. I'm
Go
kidding.
I saw a Jazza video the other day. He was sculpting something.
Yes, I still get occasionally stuff from, but I was just first I was gonna say, as far as channels that I've fallen off with and maybe don't like anymore or I'm annoyed with these days, I think the one that hurts the most is still gonna be Two Best Friends Play.
Yeah.
Just because I love those guys.
There is
Yeah.
a pain there that will never go away.
Yeah, like honestly.
Yeah.
And I wish I could still support them, but I feel like their legacy lives on in other channels that I have now fallen in love with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what also hurts the most is how much inspiration they had on you guys versus like other people.
It's true.
That's true.
The most viewed video on my channel, the biggest one, is my most viewed channel because of the Best Friends subreddit. And because
Yeah.
it's about the best friends.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to remain my most viewed video for a very long time. One of these days, I would really like... I'm hoping at a panel or some place where people would really appreciate it. I'd like to read the sequel to Wooly the Liar that Pyman and I were working on. It's just because I would think it would be really funny for people like that.
Why
But
not?
it would have to be someplace where I would prefer a live audience of us reading it so that people can. I want to see their reactions when we do it.
Right. That'd be
But
great.
we had stuff laid out,
Yeah.
and then the channel fell apart, and it just
Yeah.
it's really sad. But yes, that one's still gonna hurt. Other channels, I'm just more angry with it.
Sure.
Seems.
Are you angry at Angry Joe?
I never got into Angry Joe.
Okay, I mean neither. I just
Man, Channel Awesome in general is just faded into obscurity.
Yeah,
what is Channel Awesome?
Channel Awesome
That's like
is
Nostalgia Critic,
okay.
Angry Joe,
Yeah.
Linkara, I think.
Yeah, a lot of those guys.
The Nintendo channel has been doing pretty good.
Who's the guy who did the movie reviews and then everybody quit?
That's
Was that Nostalgia Critic?
that's Nostalgia Critic.
Well,
Okay.
Nostalgia Critic's still kicking around. They're still
Yeah, he
doing stuff.
stopped for a while
Yeah.
because
Everybody
the
quit.
entire
Like,
company imploded.
Yeah.
Nostalgia Critic, I started watching, and then I went from hey, this guy's kind of funny to this guy kind of doesn't know what he's talking about very much to I can't stand this guy. He's really annoying, and his jokes are
Yeah.
not just unfunny, but also just genuinely make me upset. And so, but that was a couple of years before the channel imploded in itself.
Right.
Didn't one of the major figureheads of that channel grouping die and then it collapsed?
I don't know about that.
There was.
I'm probably thinking of something else.
That might have been something else. Because I think with Channel Awesome, it was some kind of harassment thing
That
they
sounds
talked
familiar.
about.
Yeah, there was a sexual harassment
and
thing going on.
specifically with Nostalgia Critic, he got a lot of flack because he knew what was going on but didn't really do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. According to what I've heard from other people that kind of were looking into it and stuff, it seems because a lot of the hate and anger being directed to Doug Walker, who was the Nostalgia Critic. But it seems like Doug was more of a yes man and didn't stop his brother and one other guy that kind of also used to run Channel Awesome.
Yeah.
They were the ones doing a lot of the more heinous stuff.
Yeah.
And he was just kind of sitting there and just letting it happen.
Yeah.
More and so
So he didn't actually do anything. It was a lack of action.
as far as I know, and I didn't look very deeply into it because, like I said, I don't care for him or the channel or that. I also fell off of Angry Video Game Nerd for a while, but he did Majora's Mask for the 2020 New Year.
Cool.
and I watched him do that. And I was like, this guy's still funny. He's all right.
Nice.
As far as James Rolfe goes, he's all right in my book.
If you really want peak nostalgia critic not understanding what he's talking about, he did. I heard a while back he did a review of Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Oh Lord!
And apparently that's like the most hate he's gotten on a video like in like a very long time.
Oh,
Was it
wow.
a joke review? Because I didn't think he was fully a music dude.
It's so hard to tell if it's a joke or not.
That's fair.
It's very hard to tell because sometimes it seems like it is, and then sometimes it doesn't, and then it goes back to seeming like it's a joke.
The only thing I ever liked from Angry Video Game Nerd was the saga of Super Mecha Death Christ.
Yes. He's the best.
We should see if we can track down a DVD online somewhere of Kickassia.
I remember Super Mega Death Christ, and like the nostalgia critic tried to. I don't think it was 100% that he was trying to capitalize on it so much as he was doing his own thing, but way less funny. Because during Christmas time, he would bring in Santa Christ.
Yeah.
And there was a song that goes along with it, and it's really dumb and cringy.
Yeah.
And
Fair enough.
it's just like he always came off as somebody that was trying to be as clever and funny as the Angry Video Game Nerd, but did not succeed.
Right.
And I think one of the big things, especially with a lot of other angry reviewers, quote unquote,
Yeah.
is that some of them actually know how to be funny and clever, and others just like make poop jokes.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Angry Video Game Nerd has made some major poop jokes,
Yeah.
but he's still funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And in the same way, like South Park, the
Yeah.
writers of South Park,
they're
make
not
poop-
above. They're not above a poop joke.
They're not above a poop joke, and they're still funny.
You know what? Poop's funny.
Yeah.
Poop can be funny. You just have to implement it
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
Poop is usually gross, but it can be funny.
Yes.
It'll be funny. We're going to do a new segment called Will It Funny, where we take a bunch of extremely controversial topics and see if they can be funny. No.
Yeah, we're not going
First
to.
episode, urine.
Can it be funny?
Can it be funny? Urine.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also other like channels that I kind of got into a little bit, but then like
Fell off.
pretty quickly fell off of.
Yeah, I know when I started watching those James Charles makeup tutorials, I was hooked. But pretty quickly, I discovered there was just too much drama backstage.
Oh man, you guys remember? You guys remember that 4-panel I told you about with Jinx?
The Jinx.
Yeah.
Jinx and her YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's so bad.
And then the feud he had with Tati. What
If you're going to feud,
I can't.
if you're going to feud, it needs to be a WWE style feud.
Exactly. I want to see James
Yeah.
Charles and Tati Westbrook, I think her name was. I want to see them in the steel cage.
Yeah.
That's why any YouTube feud always needs to be solved with 9 rounds of bare knuckle boxing.
That's
I
what.
want to
That'll
see
solve
James
it.
Charles power bombing people.
There you go. I want to see James Charles get power bombed.
You know who also did a really good feud? Obi-Wan and Darth Maul.
That
They
was
had
a
a
pretty
really
good
good
feud.
feud.
That is a good feud.
I haven't seen the ending of their feud yet. I need to catch up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a
Good
nice
feud whenever Darth Maul would turn off the lights in the stadium and then turn them back on himself and be like, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you'll meet your destiny at WrestleMania 19.
No, Obi-Wan would be talking about the Force and how it's great and everything, and then the lights go out and the crowd goes, what? What's going on? And just over the loudspeakers you hear, and
And then everybody's all like,
then the lights come back on and he's in the stage and he's staring at
they're like,
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, look behind you! Look behind you, Obi-Wan!
He's right there.
And then they have an awesome fight. But Maul comes really close to killing Obi-Wan. But then out of nowhere, Anakin comes in from backstage.
Dives under the bottom rope.
It saves Obi-Wan and keeps Darth Maul away. And then Darth Maul shakes his fist as he like begrudgingly walks back up the ramp.
So we talked about both Star Wars and wrestling this episode.
At the same time.
I know.
Look at that.
Yes.
Someone's going to enjoy that.
Yeah.
Someone.
Can't stay away.
Yeah.
So I guess, are there any other YouTube channels you can think of?
Oh, I can think of so many YouTube channels.
Actually, that's a very good question, and I was actually about to turn it on its head and say, what are some YouTube channels that, I mean, you're not frothing at the mouth over that you're not a fanatical about, but what are some YouTube channels that you have been enjoying lately? I know that both of you, I know that both of you have been enjoying that cooking channel. What's the name of that lady with the white streak in her hair?
Oh, Bon Appetit, Claire Satfitz.
I know you guys
That's
aren't
pretty
frothing at the mouth over
just
it,
like
but
it
I
a
know
lot.
that you guys periodically like to go back and
Can
watch
I dunk
them.
on Jazza first?
Yes. Sorry.
I know you want to
Go
move
ahead.
on, but I want to dunk on Jazza.
Dunk on Jazza.
Because
I want you
because
to,
I was
wait
trying to
for
explain.
the layup.
I wanted to explain earlier that most of the big name channels that I don't like,
Yeah.
or that make me upset,
Yeah.
were channels that I kind of got into a little bit, but didn't really get that deep into.
Right.
Two Best Friends was one that was my favorite channel on YouTube for a very long time.
Right.
And so it hurts. I'm not mad at them. I'm sad.
Yeah.
Other channels are just annoying
Yeah.
to me. Channel Awesome. Don't like them. They make me mad. I kind of sort of got into them, then I got mad at them. Game Theory is a channel that...
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's just a theory.
Game Theory.
we could spend an episode talking about that.
Oh, I don't want to. I would just be mad the
I was
whole
going to say, that
time.
sounds terrible. Why would you suggest that?
I got into an argument with one of the kids in the Discord.
You need to stop
Time to-
doing that.
Time to expose them live on stream.
I'm not going to say who they are, but they are definitely listening to this episode right now. And they know. But
Go
no,
ahead, finish your
it's 'cause
thing.
we
I'm
like to
listening.
argue a lot. It's kind of a thing that we do.
Yeah.
But Game Theory just like really ticks me off, mainly because Matt Pat, one, doesn't do his own research. He has other guys do it, and then he takes the credit for all this interesting research that's done.
Right.
Two, often is just wrong about certain things in certain games.
Right.
Two, will milk the popular things. The editing also just really annoys me because it's just it's shockingly unfunny and not entertaining.
Would you prefer he did critical editing? And that is no editing?
No editing at all. God damn it, Oswald. And also he has capitalized on tragedies.
Oh, no.
to
Oh
come in.
yeah, there was that
one
too.
one of his editors, I think, either passed away or killed himself. I remember which one
Yeah,
it was.
the editor killed himself.
The editor killed
Gee
himself.
whiz.
Then he made a video
Yeah.
with him sad, and the thumbnail, sad Matt Pat, look at how sad he is. And, like, monetize this video talking about this guy that killed himself.
Yeah.
One of his editors.
I think
And
on the one hand, if you want to at least honor like a friend of yours through a video or something like that, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But don't monetize it and don't make it about how sad you are.
Right.
Don't make it about you.
Was he on his kitchen floor? Had he clearly been rubbing his eyes really hard before he turned on the camera?
No,
to make
no,
it look
he
like
was
No,
in
he's
his
saving
room.
that for the apology.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. That's apology video.
It's an
Sorry.
apology video.
My bad.
And so, and every time that a new game theory is always proposed, it's always something that sounds so
It's
dumb
just
to
so out there wrong that you can't even argue
Well,
it.
theories about anything in general, any YouTube video that's about theories about anything is awful.
me. Right.
I think it can be. I mean, I guess it could be fun if it's like, that's wrong, but that's an interesting way to look at it. But it's like it's the equivalent of making like game theory. Is the sky actually green?
No.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing more to say about that other than you're wrong.
Yeah.
And one of the big things was one of his videos that we're talking about is Mario a communist? Right? And he goes through this whole thing, and it's all like, he has all these like examples, and at the end he's all like, "No, of course Mario's not a communist. All that stuff that I brought up, it's not what I said it was." And he says like all this near the end of the video, and it's all like it's just something to think about or whatever. And I'm just all like, so you can just fabricate your own information if you want to, is what you're telling me right now, Matt Pat.
Yeah.
And from that point forward, I was just like, I don't care what you have to say.
That's what his whole channel is based on.
Yeah. It's just fabricating information.
And that's the biggest problem more than
himself.
anything, is that none of it's being presented as a theory. It's all being presented as fact.
Are the toads mind slaves?
And he's not presenting that as a theory. He's really saying the toads are mind slaves.
How many videos are Mario is dead, Link is dead?
A lot.
There's a few.
There's a few.
Not as many as there are FNAF videos.
Any surreal piece of media, there's a is such and such dead? Like I've seen that for Ed, and Eddie. Like, are they all dead and in purgatory?
Yeah.
That's
the
a cartoon. Shut up.
Purgatory.
That's a thing people have talked about for a while, even before him.
Well, yeah, I know.
But it's still wrong.
Yeah.
It's an example of those
Yeah.
theory videos. I just hate theory videos in general. I don't care who's doing them.
But game theory is annoying to me.
Which one do you think you could sit in a room longer with before you have to leave? A theory video or a lore video?
I can handle lore videos.
It depends.
It depends on what the lore is.
If it's Vadi Vidya making it, then I'll sit and listen to Vadi.
I'll sit and, I actually like Vadi Video. I'll sit through his videos.
Okay. I'd sit through if Vadi is talking about Dark Souls and talking about the what's the thing that you need to go up against Gwendolyn?
You gotta kill the.
Is that like a ring or something?
Wow, do you guys not know anything about Dark Souls?
I don't know Dark Souls.
Dark Souls doesn't even have a story, so don't even.
You're right. Yeah.
If it's not explained through cutscenes, I don't know what the story is.
Oh, and Dark Souls has no cutscenes, so I guess there's no story.
Yeah, there you go.
Dark Souls has a story, you ask? Indeed. Perhaps if your view was not obfuscated by myriad of deaths, you'd have seen it. Oh, I love Plague of Grapes, by the way.
Yeah, he's great.
You can't not love Plague of Grapes.
Yeah.
But the angriest man on the earth.
But yeah, I would be fine if it's certain lore channels I'm fine with.
Okay.
As long as it's not like fabricating stuff. Because usually it's like in-game stuff and it explains stuff that doesn't quite make sense.
Right.
And speaking of that, I think the worst example I've come across is a lot of like Star Wars like lore videos that just use wrong information.
Mm-hmm.
That time that Darth Vader killed Anakin Skywalker physically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Darth Vader killed Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah. Like they talk a lot about like usually they're pretty good about like saying this is a Legends video, this is a canon video, but oftentimes they'll do a canon video and then use information from Legends.
Yeah.
I always feel like whenever I see one of those videos,
I think it's like Star Wars like reading club and like the stupendous wave.
Oh, how about that?
Whenever I see those videos, it always a lot of the times it feels like they're just reading off the wikis. So
The other part of it is that.
Yeah.
I was watching a couple of I don't watch a lot of like Star Wars lore things just because like the EU since it's not important anymore, I don't really like look too deeply into it. I'll check out all the fun things that the EU has. Like I still need to read the Bane trilogy.
Yeah.
Because I'm interested in that.
Right.
Yeah.
do you want to read about the Yuuzhan Vong?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Don't stop talking about the Yuuzhan Vong. Stop
sure?
it. Stop it.
You sure you don't want to?
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. But yeah, it's most of the I don't really look at too many like lore related videos.
Yeah.
Because I like to do the research myself.
Yep.
You should go read about the Salmiri.
It's actually
Stop it.
It's funny since you mentioned the Bane trilogy. Because a lot of people have talked about, like, with the Disney movies, like, dunking on the idea of, like, the rule of two. People forget the rule of two is an EU concept.
Yep.
That is in Legends. That's not technically canon.
That is not technically canon.
Right?
Well, I mean, didn't Yoda say?
All they said...
In Phantom Menace.
Well, all they said was that...
Always
no
two
more,
there are.
Always two there are, but, like...
No more.
Did we kill the Master or the Apprentice? I don't think they were explicitly saying there can only be two in the universe.
No, listen closely,
no,
Obi-Wan.
said only two there are.
Yes.
No more.
So, no more. Yeah. So, to me, that kind of seems like he was at least alluding to that. It
Yeah.
seems pretty clear that's what he meant.
Pretty clear.
Should we just rewatch Phantom Menace?
Well,
I would-
I feel
I'd be
like
fine
it
with
could,
down.
I feel like it could be interpreted either way.
Well, you're
But,
wrong,
like-
but that's all right. I'm kidding.
Relax!
No.
Okay.
But, like, specifically, people refer to the Rule of Two as it's presented in the Bane trilogy.
Right.
And the Bane trilogy is not canon.
Well, yeah,
That's
there's
true.
a lot of extras too.
Yeah.
Specifics to the rule of two that are not obviously
Yeah.
don't carry over into the cinematic
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Of course.
Right.
So just rewatch Phantom Menace is what we'll do.
Let's do it.
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
Let's do it.
Let's
Yeah.
stop the podcast right now. Actually, let's keep the podcast rolling.
While we watch
Phantom Menace in the background.
hard cut to an hour and a half later where it's just quiet and all you hear is Misa having no bomba.
Take out this one.
You were gonna dunk on Jazza.
Yeah, I needed to dunk on
All the
game
wind
theory
up has been
also.
happening for so long.
Yeah.
Because I needed to.
Come on and slam.
Come on and
Slam
slam.
on.
Welcome to the
He's
channel.
setting up.
So that's one of those channels where I was just like, I kind of watched it a little bit. I liked it for a little bit and then started to hate.
Yeah.
Jazza was a similar channel to the Best Friends in that I was a big fan of Jazza for a very long time.
Okay.
And
I was gonna say Jess is nothing like the best friends.
yeah, and that I was
Follow
a
his
fan.
line of thought. Let him finish.
No, I know.
I know. I'm
In
just giving you a
that,
hard time.
I loved him and wanted to be his husband. I was.
desperately to feel his embrace.
I want to hug that giant Australian mountain. I was a big fan of his for a long time, and I was really appreciative of a lot of his tutorial videos that he was putting out in Draw with Jazza, and then Jazza Studios was his main channel for a long time, where he would put out animated stuff and just whatever he wanted,
Yeah.
which I was like cool with. And Draw with Jazza was meant to like help people learn and stuff like that. Eventually, he started transitioning over to just having fun with art and doing fun things with art.
That
which
sounds
is,
a good time.
it is a good time. I appreciate that. And he started to slow down on his tutorials. And then he stopped doing tutorials altogether. And he put out videos explaining, like, I'm not going to be doing this or that anymore. I'm just
Yeah, I'm not doing art tutorials
I'm
anymore.
not. They don't bring in views or whatever. And he was like very clear about like he's focusing on what will get him more views and growing his channel more than what he used to do. The reason why I subscribed to him in the first place, right? And the way that he worded everything, it really kind of felt like it was coming off as like I don't care about my old subscribers. What I care about is growing my channel and making a bigger channel, becoming more successful.
I mean, you know, at least he was upfront, I guess, about it.
Yeah,
I guess he's being honest.
yeah. And so, man, it took me a long time before I finally like unsubscribed to him.
Right.
And like I held on for a long time and just in the hope that maybe he would like change his mind. And also he's an art YouTuber.
Yeah.
And it's something that I kind of dabble in
Just a little bit.
a
Sometimes.
little bit. Sometimes I'll draw a picture and record it
Yeah.
and put it on this
the
channel.
fridge.
Put it on the fridge. And sometimes people will come by and be like, "That's a nice picture." And I'll be like, "Oh, Thank you.
You should draw Sans.
You know, he's talking about Jazza like dunking on his old subscribers and only caring about moving forward makes me think of. It makes me think of that one time Aaron dunked all over like Newgrounds.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did
And
recently.
like the people that like gave him a career.
Yep.
He did do that recently, didn't he? What was
he was
all,
pretty much I break with thee.
What was he doing? He was just all
I
like,
don't
you know,
remember.
it sucks.
The
It's a,
subject just came up, and then he just took that opportunity to dunk all over the community.
And then Tom Folk went, "Oh wow, that's crazy." Come
Oh,
on,
man,
guys.
I don't-
You're
Oh,
still like,
jeez.
I still like you. You can make it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because Tom Fulp is nice to a fault.
yeah.
He is super nice. That's what I've been told through
Wow.
other podcasts.
That's wonderful to know.
Yes. But yeah, I was a big
held out.
fan of Jazza, and I
You
held
held-
out for
yeah.
way longer than I should have until I finally unsubscribed to him.
Yeah.
I remember watching this video of like people made videos of them unsubscribing from Darkside Phil, and how like they were upset that they were just like, you know, Phil is not good anymore, and you know
When was he good?
apparently back in the day when he first started.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever was, but I
Well,
feel
we
like
don't think so.
I feel like it depends on who you ask.
Right. We learned about Darkside Phil
when he was already
when
on
he
fire.
was
Yeah.
like burning himself alive.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
So we didn't see beforehand, but people like
Yeah,
you know.
imagine liking him when you thought that he was good.
right.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I felt. I actually considered like making a video of being like, I need to unsubscribe from Jazza, and these are the reasons.
Really?
why.
It upset you that much?
It did.
Wow.
I'm
I
glad
was-
you didn't.
No,
but I
I-
totally
yeah.
get why
I
you
thought
would.
about it, but I
I
wasn't
totally
going
get
to.
why you would think about it.
Yeah. And a
backed
lot
out
of people
real
still
hard.
really like Jazza, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
knock anybody for liking Jazza, but his content isn't what I want anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just another big thing that was irking me for a long time was like professional artist challenges himself to do this or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a good thing to experiment with different art forms and try different things, especially as a beginning artist. His channel was really good for people that were wanting to dabble in art.
Yeah.
I am a person that I consider intermediate at
Yeah.
art.
Sure.
So his stuff wasn't for me. And he's all like, I'm going to make art out of actual trash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he made it. And like,
He's art memes.
yeah, he became art memes.
Yeah.
And a big thing that was bugging me for a long time was that he wasn't trying to improve
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to improve, and he's no longer teaching people.
He's not teaching people and he's not trying to improve. And to me, as an artist, you got to be trying to improve all the time.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to be perfect.
Right.
Jim Lee isn't perfect.
Yeah.
But Lord, is he close.
He's very close. Holy cow.
He's only got this much more to go.
He's so close.
It's like depreciating returns. So, like, it's going to take him a long time to reach perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that XP ramp up once
Yeah.
you hit
Yeah.
high levels.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I am still trying to figure things out.
You're
I
still
think
trying
I've-
to spec your build.
I'm still trying to spec my build, but I'm still getting experience points too.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking all those low-level quests.
I didn't even consider a build while I started. So, I mean, everything's just sort of shotgunned in all directions.
Yeah. You have it all even across the board.
Because I was all like, an even build should be fine, right?
If I just put points into everything.
Yeah.
That's right. So, yeah, it's just... And I also... I paid money to Jazza to help him build his studio too. And I was like... I felt like I was helping him
Yeah.
with something. And then, like... I think it was like 2 years later or something, he built Studio 3 before he had fulfilled all of his obligations that he had made with the Kickstarter for Studio 1 or Studio 2.
Gotcha.
I was gonna say he skipped 2 more studios.
Yeah, excuse me. And so
So did he just like drop Kickstarter pledge stuff?
no, he fulfilled everything else afterwards.
Oh, okay.
But He just didn't.
Yeah.
He moved on from
Right.
what I felt like he should have taken care of first, and
He was done with one project, and then he just leapt off to another one.
yeah. Well, he didn't even finish that project, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, yeah. He just established the project, and then established another, and then another, and then another.
And so,
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
like, his new studio looks so cool, and I think it's so interesting. But it's all about making meme art and stuff like that, and paying artists on Fiverr to finish my animation, or
Fiverr.
it's just making videos.
Watch me live stream being a producer.
It's like trying to sculpt in Minecraft, right?
You mean
but
playing Minecraft?
What's that?
You mean playing Minecraft?
Yeah, but like sculpting something in
that's-
hardcore mode.
That's playing Minecraft.
All
Yeah.
in hardcore mode.
But like all these things that he quote unquote challenges himself on, he's not even good at.
You know
Like-
what you can do though? Next time he's on Minecraft, if you can crack which server he's on, you can go on and grief play him.
I'm not the Swain man.
Start spawning TNT everywhere.
Yeah, just start blowing up his sculptures.
I saw a really quick clip of a streamer doing that to a huge YouTuber. What was the name of the guy that did beauty tutorials that you mentioned before?
James Charles.
James Charles. Apparently, James Charles was doing like a Minecraft video.
Yeah, I think was it with Pyrocynical?
I'm not sure, but there was a guy where he's just like playing and he's like, "Oh my god, is that James Charles? Oh my god, this is my big moment!" And he just griefs the hell out of him.
Nice.
And it's like
He
the
like
video
lava
itself.
stoned his house.
The video is like intercut between James Charles' stream and this streamer's stream, and he's like, the streamer is like turning to chat. And everybody in the chat, and he's like, "We can do this, guys! We can do this together!" It's just like getting super happy. Because like everybody in the chat was all like, "Oh my god, this is our big moment!"
Spawn creepers! Play down bait! Draw zombies into his house!
Lava stone him.
Lava stones. But yeah, it was one of those things where I was just
Done.
It's just done.
Yeah.
And honestly, every time I see a new thumbnail of his, I just get mad.
So like the focus of his channel shifted
Yep.
towards sort of a money making venture,
Yeah.
and
Instead of tutorials and
so you
teaching
kind of felt
people.
left behind.
Yeah, I felt like he didn't care about my views anymore. Because
I'll be honest, I don't really know much of anything about Jazza.
yeah,
So
that's just the
I can't
impression
really
that I
weigh
got.
in. I'm just
Sure.
trying to get the picture here.
Yeah, and what else was it? There was something else I wanted to talk about. Yeah, he wasn't trying to improve. He wasn't the stuff that he challenged himself in didn't even look that good.
Well, you didn't like his mashed potato sculpture?
No,
Did he do that?
I don't think
Probably.
he did that.
Probably. I don't
He
know.
tried to sculpt soap. He tried to sculpt stone.
Soap
He
carving.
he got a sponsorship for Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
Really?
and
Okay.
he got a block of soapstone and was gonna carve Cassandra, I think is her name, the female playable character in
Is
that.
he a sculptor?
No, he is not.
By
That
any
sounds
stretch of
like
the-
quite the undertaking then.
Yeah,
So that's the thing. He plays into that.
yeah, he
And
plays
so
into
there's
that.
no need to really try. It's just like, oh, I guess it didn't turn out. Thanks for watching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, he considers it a success.
Oh.
So, like, I'm really happy with the way that turned out.
Yeah.
Also, his thumbnails makes me think that his channel's like a prank channel.
They do look
They
like
do
the way
look
they-
Oh,
like
God,
prank
yeah.
channels.
Well, I mean, if you want to get those views, you gotta do what the algorithm likes. So
Right.
you have to make those thumbnails that all have that big dumb face and a
Yeah.
big red
Arrows
circle
pointing.
and question
Yeah.
marks. And
So
stuff.
that was the other thing that I remembered what I wanted to bring up.
Thank you.
His main channel, he pretty much abandoned because I don't know why. He wanted to focus on Draw with Jazza. When Draw with Jazza started
Taking off?
taking off,
Yeah.
and he was becoming more success with that, he then shifted Draw with Jazza, which was his secondary channel, into what he wanted to do with his main channel. And in my mind, I was like, you didn't have success with the first channel, and so when you started getting success from this channel, you are now doing what you wanted to do instead of doing what you want to do on the main channel that you created first. And it all kind of culminated in him changing Draw with Jazza to just Jazza. Because to me,
Why
he
bother
doesn't...
drawing?
Why bother drawing
It's
with him?
not about drawing anymore.
No. It's about fun with art. You guys like art? You like making art? I'm going to make a sculpture out of poopy.
Beautiful feces sculpture.
Beautiful.
Stay tuned for Jazza Plays Roblox.
Take a look at this little beauty.
Oof.
Oof.
Oof!
Gosh, man. And then so simul plays Roblox, Fortnite, and Minecraft.
And make
Yep.
a sculpture in all three of these games at the same time.
Sculpt in Fortnite.
Yep. And just like all this other there's so much little things that also happen. I think I've made my point with Jazza.
You needed to vent the world, and you've done it.
I
Yeah.
did. And there's still people that really like Jazza, and that's fine.
Best of luck to him in all of his endeavors.
I hope he's successful.
No hard
Honestly.
feelings.
If you're
All the hard feelings.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I guess if you're looking
Only
for,
the most solid.
I guess if you're
feelings.
looking for fun meme art, you know where to find it.
Exactly.
But not if you want advice on art and learning tutorials and
Yeah.
Yep.
stuff like that.
But like, I took everything that I learned from his tutorials, and that's what I used to make Happy Christmas Harry.
so he's touched
Whoa.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, he touched
Where
me
did
real
he
good.
touch you?
He touched you right in the Happy Christmas, Harry.
It's so crazy to think that Jazza started out as one of like the older like original Newgrounds guys.
Yep,
Yeah, you're right.
he did, and he still
Did
has
he make
a lot.
Chainsaw the Children?
No,
Okay.
Did he make Tankman?
no,
No.
That was Johnny Utah. But
Man.
no, that wasn't. Who made Tank?
That was Johnny Utah.
Johnny Utah did. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
God, I always get the Johnny Utah voice. I always give it to Tom Folk for some reason. I can't not do it every time. Every time I do it, and somebody says, "No, that was Johnny Utah, not Tom Folk," and then the next time it happens, I do it again.
They do it again.
I would just like some bees, please.
Guys, what's going on? How's it going, man?
Hey man, what's up, man? What's going on? Does this look like a basket of folded laundry or the head of a jade monkey dragon?
What a magnificent beast it was.
Oh, those were the days.
Oh man, old Newgrounds.
Wow, we're such boomers. Back in my day, you had to go on a dedicated site to watch good Flash animations.
So I'm kind of curious. Are there any YouTube channels that you feel that you started off not really liking, but then you started liking them over time?
That's an awesome question.
That's a great question. I think I'm done talking about YouTube
Because
channels.
I think for me,
I'm
one
sad
that
that-
I feel that is actually kind of weirdly improved over time is Death Battle.
Oh!
Because I used to not really like Death Battle
Okay,
that much.
yeah.
They still like, I still feel like there's some questionable arguments to be made in like a lot of their newer videos, but I feel like they're at least a little more entertaining now.
So that's a really interesting.
know.
I keep that going because that's a really interesting point. And I was about to say mine ebbed and flowed.
yeah.
Like my interest in because at first it was something really really fun that Jingles and I would get into.
Yeah.
Like pretty hard. And there was, I would say, a good little while where it just sort of dipped for me. Like, where I just started rolling my eyes, and I was all like, oh, I don't really care about what these guys have to say. It's like, it's probably wrong, it's mostly wrong, and, I just started really disliking them. And I would say the past 3 videos, I can't say if it's them that have improved, or if it's my perception of them that has improved, but I don't mind it. I actually think it's kind of fun.
That's not to, and that's not to say that it's great, because I still think there's a lot of stuff they do that's like questionable and
Sure.
not very good. But
Sure.
like, I mean, it it's entertaining now,
Yeah.
and it doesn't anger me when I watch it.
If you personally find entertainment in these things that we've talked about,
Like
good.
I still think it's irritating that they try to do math off of information that they don't have.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
you
to
see,
a
like,
certain-
It's still
and
fun.
I sort of like that sort of thing, where it's all like,
Well, then
it's all wacky Looney Tunes bull, so why not just...
Well, yeah,
put-
but like that's not math. Then if you're not
It's
drawing
all-
hard numbers,
When it-
that's
try to
not
make-
math.
Let's calculate, like, how Superman can catch a planet.
Yeah.
That's what, like, as soon as they start doing that, I'm all like,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm just like, whatever number you guys come up
I
with,
also-
I'm fine with.
And also, I might be alone on this, but I also don't like their new like avatars that they use. I don't like their designs. I think they're very irritating.
No, I'm not disagreeing.
That's
I'm
funny.
thinking about it. I'm like, huh.
I
I
get what
think
they
they're
were.
fine.
I get what they're trying to go for with them. I just don't like them.
I've seen 3 death battle videos, and they were all like 7 years ago. So
Yeah.
I can't weigh in here at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's one of those things where I used to watch their old videos and I didn't like them for a very long time, and then it's like, yeah, I guess it's entertaining.
You know, they
It's a
should do a-
little more entertaining.
They should
now.
do a revisit, because one of the ones I seen back in the day was it was Master Chief
Versus Samus.
it was Master Chief versus Doom Guy.
That's what it was,
I
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
Especially with new Doom.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
with new Doom Guy
Yeah.
is way more powerful than old Doom Guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is he?
He's
Yeah.
way more, he's the angriest he's ever been.
Well, he has literal supernatural powers now.
No, that's true.
Essentially.
Hey, who's excited for Eternal?
And
I am.
I am. But yeah, like
I'm strapped in and ready.
I'm trying to find whatever I can because I feel like our YouTube segment has been mostly negative this whole time.
Yes, thank you for... No, thank you for trying to, like, find a
But like
leeway
now
out.
that I think about it, it's like I can't really think of any examples of like YouTube channels.
No, YouTube is
that have
cancer.
Gotten better over time because YouTube isn't. I don't feel like YouTube's very good anymore.
Right.
Well, okay, so the problem is the reason YouTube channels aren't getting any better is because YouTube will not let them get better.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
I feel like there are so many more examples of channels becoming terrible than they have been of getting better.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when someone is sort of doing a dedicated kind of YouTube career, for better or worse, whether or not you think that's cringe or not,
Sure.
whatever. When someone's doing that and they're doing something they like and they're doing something that other people like and they're building a community and they have, they have good content, but YouTube keeps demonetizing everything they do.
Yeah.
They have to either shift gears
Yes.
or stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
I
there's no other
Agreed.
choice.
Agreed.
Here's
And
the
so
thought.
that's why things get worse, because everybody who wants to continue has to bow to the great overlord that is the
Yeah.
algorithm.
Yeah, it's fair. Here's a thought. Are there any channels that you don't watch, but don't necessarily hate?
I got
Okay, that'd
one-
be a little more
I got one
accurate.
that's improved.
Okay.
I wouldn't even necessarily say improved, but it's evolved.
Sure. Go ahead.
Critical.
Critical has evolved in a fun way.
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, he's become insanely popular.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody
It's actually
was
kind of
critical.
inspiring.
Yeah, it really is. I remember when he was just doing silly, goofy
Damn it,
around
Oswald.
videos.
Yeah.
There you go, Oswald.
You're a champion, Oswald. Everybody, this is critical. I would lean into and give you guys the perfect impression of critical, but I also don't want us to just cut out a chunk of the podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
So, no, that's
'Cause
really
of his foul
interesting.
language.
Yeah. that
Have you
actually
seen
is
his new
weird.
song?
Yes.
Yeah, he put a new song
I was going to watch
2019
it.
guy?
I haven't watched it.
No, his
Oh.
new song.
It's a Obsession.
from yesterday.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't.
It just
Yeah,
came
he
out.
will just randomly drop these songs out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's great.
He's gonna pull a Joji on us, and he'll be like, "I'm quitting my YouTube career and moving on to producing music."
Yep.
Now, just sad boy music. Sorry, your question that you brought up
Yeah.
was channels,
Channels that you don't necessarily watch, but don't have anything really negative to say about them.
Well, then, what?
What?
Well, here.
No,
let me
I
give you
think
an
I know what
example.
you're talking
Let me
about.
give
I
you
know
an
what you're
example
talking
here.
about.
Give me an example.
I know
So
what
I don't watch Jacksepticeye and I don't watch Markiplier, but both of those guys seem really chill to me.
Okay.
They
All
seem
right.
like
Yeah.
genuinely good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every time I have seen stuff with them, I'm not annoyed by them.
And I was about to pose what are some channels that you do like, and for me, or like, it's odd that I'm not subscribed to this guy yet, because I feel like I should be. History buffs.
Yeah, we need to be subscribed to
Yeah.
history
I
buffs.
like history buff stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
can
really like
learn,
them too.
Yeah.
I think
I like learning.
I think with them, like, I don't think they so much got better as he's managed to maintain the same level of quality.
Well, that's not what
Which
I'm
I-
saying. I'm just saying that, like,
but-
it's a channel
yeah.
that I like,
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
somehow am not subscribed to.
Right. And
yeah.
I'm not interested in subscribing to Markiplier or Jacksepticeye.
Yeah.
But you like 'em.
As guys,
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they're cool.
I haven't subscribed to Retro Replay, but I like both Troy Baker and
Yeah.
Nolan
I
North.
recently subscribed to Retro Replay. They played SSX, and I haven't watched that yet.
Oh no!
SSX Tricky!
You know, I wonder what the real Iron Gamer is doing these days.
I
Whoa.
don't know who that is.
You wouldn't. No one does. He was this tiny little YouTuber that back when like Resident Evil. I want to say it was around when 6 came out.
Oh, is that the
Whoa.
guy that says Helena?
Yeah. It's like, oh, Helena. He's very Irish, and he liked Helena's character, and so when he was doing the playthrough of it, he'd be like, oh, Helena, come here. I loved it so much.
I think
He's just
one
having
chan-
a good time with the.
I think
with the
one other
game.
channel that I don't really watch, but I can tell has, or I can at least venture a guess has like improved in quality over time is Critical Role. They've definitely
Yes.
improved like production quality.
I need
and
to
everything.
Well, I mean,
catch
they
up
got-
on them.
They got that Amazon money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
like
great.
but I don't really watch them because I've always personally found it really hard to care about other people's like campaigns.
Yeah, I can't do it either. It's like I can't. just
like
watch
I feel
something.
like
Interesting.
I feel like I only have enough room in my heart for my own campaigns.
Okay.
I've been
Interesting.
actually more closely following their supplemental
Yeah.
stuff that isn't
Yeah.
involved with their campaign.
They're
Liam
Dragonlance.
and Sam,
Yeah.
they have all work, no play.
Yeah. Or
they
they
only-
just get up into some nonsense.
Yeah, they just go do something.
Yeah.
They try something new. It started off as
It's
a podcast.
like an episode of The Simpsons, except much nicer.
Yeah. It started off as a podcast, and then when they had their own company in
Yeah.
Critical Role,
Yeah.
they now can make content out
Yeah.
of just going and trying something.
Yeah.
They just released the first episode of season 2, and I was watching that a little bit last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then I got tired because I was tired.
Yeah.
And went to sleep.
You've
I'm
been
gonna keep
overcome by
watching.
the sleep.
I was overcome by the sleep, taken by the sleep. But yeah, I've been watching. I really like All Work No Play and a lot of the other supplemental things that they were doing. Pub Draw, that was
Yeah.
another one where they're teaching how to draw characters so that you at home can draw your own D&D characters.
It's
for
fun
your campaign.
because I can take my little gorilla hand and just sort of hold the pencil wrong and just sort of scribble.
Your gnarled, deformed claw.
As just periodically as I'm drawing, if you guys could, just to let me know I'm doing a good job, just put a little peanut in front of me.
Your cursed witch hand.
It's more like this.
Okay, yeah.
Boy, that's going to make a lot of sense in the audio
Oh
version.
no, this is just for you. This is just for you. I nearly went aped out right
I
now.
know.
You just orangutan the pencil.
Yeah. Well, the trick is to tuck your left arm in, and then when you go to grab like a glass of water or something, turn your wrist in like this. But don't have it like this beforehand. It's when you go to grab it, and then that's when you twist and you go.
Yes.
Because you're an orangutan and you don't know how human things work.
That's right. So, I know we're swiftly running out of time here.
Yeah.
Is it time to kill
Is
it?
it?
It's getting close,
Is it?
but we had a couple of questions, and I
Yeah.
wanted to
get
bring
to
them up
those.
to you guys. I had a couple of questions for the next episode of the podcast,
Okay.
but I was able to get a couple of just random questions because I was
Okay.
able to talk to the Discord
Sure,
server.
yeah.
You're right. Time is short. So yeah, let's get to the questions.
Yeah, let's go
So,
get to it.
well, as long as we're all good here.
Oh yeah, I believe we're ready to move on from what we just dealt with.
This entire episode has just been throwing mud all over the place.
Yes.
On our feet, like a
Nobody's
bunch of
going to
morons.
enjoy this episode.
One of these days, I will have a short video where I teach the kids how to ape out with me.
Beautiful. So the first question here comes from our pal Louie.
Hey!
Louis-
Hold on. Is it a Beyblade question?
Ha! He likes other things than Beyblade.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if you were going to be like, yes, I'll be like, okay, cool, proceed.
Like I always
No
say,
matter what you were going to say, I was going to say.
Beyblade is for chumps. Only huge Giga Chads like Battle Beat 'em on.
Battle beat him on.
Hit us with that question.
Okay, so Louie.
Love you, Louie.
It actually has a question for Pie Man.
What?
Oh!
And he
no.
says, how would your bone removal surgery go?
My bone removal surgery?
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be a surgery, first of all.
Procedures.
Yes.
Procedure.
So what they would do is they would insert little pockets laparoscopically into various points in my body, and these little pods contain a bone dissolving serum that then seeps into the areas and gets rid of the bones.
Did they just dissolve the bone while it's inside of you?
Essentially, yeah, and then it just gets reabsorbed by the rest of the body.
I was hoping, like, what, just into base proteins where you can just, like, bring it into your muscles?
Yeah.
Air quotes,
absorb it.
muscles?
You break it down into their constituent parts, just all the nutrients and minerals and stuff, and then I can reabsorb it. It's a very advanced procedure, and the reason they do it laparoscopically like that is so that you have less downtime. You can get back on your feet.
So you can get back on your floppy feet.
I feel like it'd be more worth it to go through most of the bone removal surgery, but then have some gadgets placed strategically throughout your body, and then reclose your body, so in the event of an emergency, you can shoot your skeleton out at your aggressors.
Oh, I did not consider that. Honestly, when you started mentioning mechanics, I was going to be like, it'd be really useful if outside your body they create a series of rods and engines to sort of sustain your body as you continue to move around. That sounds like an exoskeleton. No, I don't think so.
You don't have an endoskeleton anymore, so you need something.
I'm just thinking of like a nature documentary where there's like a mongoose stalking like a squirrel. The squirrel turns around and just shoots its skeleton at you. And the floppy skin runs away.
So are you visualizing like just an entire complete skeleton?
Yeah, just
Oh, and it appears that the local mongoose is going to be. It appears he's approaching his prey. The squirrel doesn't seem to be wiser. Oh, the squirrel is now upright, sensing his surroundings. With his sensitive whiskers, he can sense changes in the atmosphere. Oh, he seems to notice the mongoose, and now he has begun to secrete his bones.
And then like the floppy squirrel skin runs away and it hides in its den while it regrows its skeleton. Kind of like a gecko regrowing its tail.
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, now I think about it,
No, don't.
I have to, because dissolving the bones like that, it seems like a waste, because I would want to reassemble them to be my own hilarious skeleton that I can look at. So maybe I would have them removed physically. Because just imagine you wake up, you look at it, and in the corner of your room, it's just your own skeleton standing there staring at you like a big dumb skeleton.
You prop it up in the bathroom and it holds the toilet paper roll.
I love how you describe I like my own big dumb skeleton. By the way, I was re-listening to the I think the last podcast when you're doing your best to describe the Wolfman fight.
Yes.
And you're just struggling. I love it. I was at work and I literally started laughing while I'm trying to do stuff.
I'm glad someone enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it severely.
Especially when Josh was like, hang on, did they become wolf men? Or do they combine into one giant wolf man? And Fireman is all like, no, listen. They become their own individual wolf men. I love it. I'm sorry. Next question. I'm ready.
Next question is actually just for you and me.
Okay, cool.
This comes from Kimmy.
Nice.
Kimmy
Thank
asks,
you, Kim. Oh, sorry, Louie. Thank you for the question.
Yes, thank you for the question, Louie.
Oh, yes, it was for me, so I should also thank Louis for the question.
Yes. But you need to do it in your typical haughty way.
Louis, I very much appreciate the quandary that you have posited to me on this day. It has really made me reconsider many aspects of myself.
Do not fail me again.
Wow. So Kimmy was wondering, Jingles, did you doodle in your school notebooks? And Smoots, were you jelly that Jingles can draw and you could not when you were younger?
I was first grape, then I think strawberry jelly for a little bit.
Yeah.
At least for a little bit, especially considering how much you would doodle, and I would be like, especially when you started getting better at it.
Yeah.
And I was all like, dang it, and I tried drawing too, but I just couldn't get any better. And I'm okay with that. Like, I don't really dedicate myself to drawing, so I don't really feel like I need to get better at that when I can just describe to you what I feel and what's inside my head. Yes, I was jelly for a little bit. And the reason why Pieman laughed is because I'm pretty sure he has full memories of Jingles doing it.
I'm remembering doing Atamons. And,
Yeah.
Yes.
And how...
What a wonderful game that was.
And how essentially the only person that was actually really drawing anything was Jingles.
Yes.
The rest of us were just doing stick figures.
Yeah.
I was the master of stick figures.
That was the funnest part about Atamons.
Yeah. Anybody could play.
Okay, so let me explain Atamons. This is a game that we invented.
I don't think we invented it.
We invented it, Pieman.
I'm pretty sure... I don't think we did.
We put a registered trademark on it.
All right.
Atamon
You're
trademark.
Right. You're right.
This is a thing that you can do with your friends in school as well, as long as, the teacher is giving you free time. So what me and my friends would do, because we're very good students and would get done with work quickly.
Well,
Okay, most of us were.
Yeah.
When we had extra time, we'd pull out a page from one of our notebooks.
Just a blank page.
Just a blank page. And one of us would just draw a little something. And it's very little something. Mm-hmm. Very small something. And then we'd pass it on to the next person. And then they would add a little something onto that. And then they'd pass it on to the next person.
The object was to get more absurd with it.
Yeah, get weirder and crazier and just all the different stuff that you would add to this pic. Mm-hmm. You would usually start off with a little stick figure that's just all what a great day it is. And then somebody would draw an anvil dropping over him. And then somebody else
would draw somebody dropping the anvil.
Yeah. And so on and so forth. They would just get bigger and crazier and weirder. And we called that Atamon because you're adding things on to it. And
I loved it.
That was definitely, yes, I doodled a lot in my notebooks, but I also had various sketchbooks that my mother had purchased for me. I didn't draw a lot in middle school. I started in middle school in 8th grade, and then high school was just drawing all the time.
That's right.
So
nonstop. Your binder was stuffed full of pictures you were working on.
Yeah.
Yes.
All of them tiny and in the very center of the page.
Yes, very small. I always drew very small back in the day.
Yeah.
It took me a while to break that habit and draw bigger.
Yeah.
And
right on.
Sometimes I still prefer to draw on the more smaller side than the bigger side, but
yeah,
that's just me.
Thanks for the question, Kimmy.
Thank you for the question, Kimmy. You're adorable, and your squeaks will power us again.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, this was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was
an interesting
scattered.
Yeah. It was an interesting episode.
A shotgun of emotions and subjects.
Yes.
I don't think I'd have it any other way.
You know what? I agree.
You know what? Why not? Yeah.
But I guess we're gonna go ahead and see about wrapping up because I am starving, gangs.
And me too.
But this was great, and I love hanging out with you guys, even when we don't even record.
Yeah.
When we
Wait,
this,
were we recording?
Oh shoot!
Oh.
No, we only do this when we record. We don't even look at each other.
Yeah,
as soon
if
as
we
the
can help it.
headphones are off.
Look, guys, we're gonna be honest with you. None of us are actually friends.
Yes, we are friends.
Hello, with my good friend. Hello, friend. But yeah, this is the kind of random junk that we would talk about when we got together anyway.
Pretty much.
And
Just
All we
with a
did-
lot less swears.
All we did was
Yes.
just stick some microphones in the middle of the room.
There you go.
Which is great.
That's
And
kind of the object of the game.
I've been getting a lot of good feedback from people saying how much they really enjoy what we talk about. The Crafting Cosplayer and Will Holland have both.
That really makes me happy.
Have been really
Good. I'm
vocal
glad.
about
I'm
how
glad
much
it
they like
does.
As long as someone is getting some enjoyment, I think we've accomplished the mission.
I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't think you don't seem like the kind of guy to spread joy though, Pie Man.
I'm not.
Yeah.
But I figured that it's the only way I'm going to be able to leave a positive mark.
Yeah.
So I better at least try.
That's right.
I thought the mark you were going to leave was just like a giant crater somewhere.
No, it's going to be a huge dark sigil carved into the side of a mountain.
There you go.
That's beautiful.
This is mine now.
So we'll go ahead and wrap up. Thank
All
you,
right.
everybody, for
Thank you.
listening and joining us. I hope you enjoyed it.
And thank you for the feedback.
Yes, thank you. If you want to
Leave
leave
us a
voice
voicemail.
messages, you can do it on the Anchor app. And pretty much any voicemail that you guys leave us will put into the episode itself so that you can hear it.
Yeah.
I enjoy getting it, and I know the guys here enjoy hearing feedback as well.
Sure.
But anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I have been Jingles Roscoe.
I have been Smiter Roscoe.
There's some across the waste that would call me Pie Man.
I've sort of been Josh.
And we thank you for coming in and hanging out with us.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.